Ridiculous I look. Okay, so I wrote an intro for this. I'm silly excited. I got, first of all, just to, you know what? Let's just get right into it. Hello, I hope you're well. I'm Bryce, and welcome to the first episode of a show that I don't know the title of yet, where I talk to my friends about themselves and the things they love. To start us off, we have one of my favorite people and coincidentally favorite artists of all time. Starting his career with posting a flurry of singles on SoundCloud, which would eventually be coalesced into his first project, Sunny, Elroy came onto the scene with a laid-back yet emotional vocal style, delivering hypnotizing, introspective lyrics over massive 808s and heavy trap drum patterns, using a collection of sounds picked from TV shows, video games, and music that surrounded him. I, and clearly many others, had never heard anything like Elroy's music, especially executed in such a meticulous and precise manner. Over the next few years, Elroy would continue building an extremely dedicated fan base, releasing music that progressively became somehow even more refined, coupling it with beautiful visuals on YouTube and a general air of captivating mystery in his online presence. All of this has culminated in his most recent release, Dream Yoga. Dream Yoga boasts his most dynamic, creative, and hard-hitting production yet. Twinkly, almost ASMR-esque Midwest emo-style guitars, getting stabbed in the face by brutal kicks and a violent bass, supporting one of Elroy's most nuanced vocal performances to date. Dream Yoga is paired with video game daydream visuals of gardeners with heads in the shape of moons and cats slapping floating hearts, and an incredible rendering of Elroy himself. This is Elroy's most complete and realized release yet. So without further ado, Elroy, get up in here. Hey. We did it, y'all. Look at us.
What's up, biscuit?
What's up, biscuit? Give me a dab. Damn, on-camera dab. Terrifying. I just literally shat.
Thank you for the intro, bro.
I got you. How was that for you?
I felt like I was about to go on stage. I was like behind the curtain back there. I was like bouncing up and down.
Yeah, you're like getting all hyped. I got this. Let me just make sure we got audio. Can y'all hear Elroy?
Yo.
Can we get a yes for hearing Elroy? We got a yeah. We got multiple We got multiple yes. All right. So, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks, bro. I just got a haircut, so, you know.
Yeah, you look fucking crispy.
Thanks. How
look
are
at
you?
That. I love the side things. If anybody's ever noticed this, there was a period in 2021 where I started like trimming the sides like silly high as well because of you and your beautiful skull.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, but I'm well. So I'm just going to set this up. Okay. So I got some questions here that I'm going to ask and refer to if I feel like it, but there will be many tangents, and I'm looking to make this kind of as freeform as possible. We kind of talked about this before the show. When we feel like it, we will also bring in some audience questions that can be submitted on the Twitch submissions channel on my Discord. Somebody in the chat can link the Discord. And if you're in the Discord already, hell yeah, you've got first dibs. So yeah, and then eventually we will have some celebrity appearances as well. Ty Lorenzo is joining us today in the studio. Do you want to?
Ty in the building.
Ty is in the building. Hey. Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. Perfect. Ty's watching live as well in the studio. All right, so beforehand, let's just make sure. Do you have all your beverages in order and everything?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That? Let's open that shit up. Started? Make sure you get it all started. We got waters and other shenanigans inbound. Wow. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us all today, especially since it took a little longer. This is our first time doing anything like this, but I'm unbelievably excited. I've been wanting to. Longtime fans will know that sometime in 2021, I hopped on a shared Instagram live call with Elroy, and we tried to do some version of this.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was the best day of my life. Okay. I'm going to be referring to my notes often. I was going to write them down so it didn't look like I was just looking at my phone, but I will just be looking at my phone. So that's how we're going to do it. Dude, I'm so amped right now. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do this, man. Jesus. I'm so excited. All right. So Dream Yoga is the first release you've had in a while. But specifically since moving to New York. And obviously I've been with you for some of that process, but I was wondering if you could kind of walk us through what the last year has been like since you dropped.
Yeah, so I didn't drop for a long time because after making Ivy, I think that might be my favorite song of mine.
Even after Dream Yoga?
Yes, I think so. I don't know. It hasn't been out. Dream Yoga hasn't been out long enough for me.
You haven't been able to breathe on it.
Yeah. But Ivy, like after that came out, I really wanted to make another song that sounded like Ivy.
Yeah.
That had like the same energy and like the same arrangement, and just because Ivy to me just like flows in a very natural way where like the energy never dies down, really. So I was comparing everything I made to Ivy, which I feel like we talk about this a lot. Like when you make a song you really like and then you like want everything else to sound exactly like that.
Yeah. And it's just never going to hit the same.
Exactly.
Ever.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I was doing that for a while, and then I started to become really frustrated with the technicality side of things. Like I was mixing music in a very unconventional way where everything was peaking and just like destroying the master. I wasn't even putting anything on the master.
Yeah. Iconic.
Yeah.
What was your last song that you were doing that on?
Ivy. So I did that on Ivy.
Ivy was peaking the master?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
I don't understand. So just do you want to talk people through what was actually happening there for like most of you, like technically?
Yeah, sure. So the master is just means like it's like the single channel that like everything ends up coming out of at the end.
Do you mind sharing what DAW you're using, by the way?
I use Ableton.
Okay.
And we can get more into my DAW history too, because that's fun.
Yeah, because I think this is an important note because every DAW like acts differently when you peak the master, when you peak the stereo out.
Exactly, yeah. So Ableton reacts really well. As we talk about all the time, you can peak the master, which essentially in simple terms, that just means you can slam things really loudly into the master, like a bunch of stuff at once, and it handles it really well.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. Like all of the music I have out, I did that for. It's a very specific sound where things are like harsh, and there isn't really space for like a single element to kind of shine on its own. They're all just shining at the same exact time. I started to become frustrated with the way that sounded. So I had to learn a lot of stuff, which isn't something I had done in a while, where like I was watching YouTube videos, talking with Ty all the time, because Ty knows everything about the technical side of things.
To like just as a tangent, Ty and I both use Logic, and Logic interacts very differently when you peak the master. It's like a huge no-no. Everything just kind of fades into oblivion. You get no dynamic range. But so you kind of have to do things like very traditionally, and Ty is the god of that. So
exactly, yeah. Because like, yeah, to put it in non-music terms, you make the song. That's like one process. You mix it, which is like working with the individual parts of that song. And then you master it, which is working just with the one audio file. I wasn't doing any of that. It was all just like one big thing. So I needed...
Would you put anything on the master? Like, was there any...
No.
On the master?
I think on Ivy, I put some like a saturator or something. And I was like mastering.
Which is basically just like for people again who don't know music, basically what's happening when you peak the master is it's distorting. It's saturating to a certain extent in Ableton. And so you have just done that twice.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, it doesn't make sense how clear that music all sounded.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really understand it too, but like it worked.
It worked.
It worked for me, and it was like a quick way to do things. So that's why I did it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn how to get my music to sound like just as punchy and loud as it did, but just in a cleaner way where like you could actually hear the individual elements of the song and whatever. So I had to learn how to like gain stage, which I still don't totally know what that means.
So is gain staging when you like what is gain staging?
I believe it's when I believe it's when you
I'm just like, bro, like
I believe it's when you get all of the sounds to like to be at the same level, like
right.
Comparison wise,
Yeah,
while leaving headroom on the master.
right. So because I remember seeing a bunch of shit where it's like you have to bounce out all the stems and then you put them at 0 on the volume, and so you just like hear they all sound just at 0. I was always super confused on gain staging.
I also don't know what it means, but what I know is that what I started doing
right
was getting the entire song like as one to not peak the master.
Right.
Like
so you're hitting it at like minus 6, 12?
Minus like 2 maybe.
Minus 2.
So a little bit of headroom.
Such a slut.
But like I love my music loud, y'all. Like so
just
essentially,
to be clear, I feel like industry standard is like if you want to make it loud and dynamic, you got to make it real quiet because the most dynamic. To like
yeah, I've always had the opposite.
Math wise, decibels are like a logarithmic system. So like the quieter you make it, the more the dynamic, the more range you can have in dynamic sound. Because like the difference in loudness, like perceived loudness between like 5 and 6. I don't know if I'm just confusing myself as I talk right now, but basically like you can see like a huge dynamic difference when you have them at like peaking at minus 12, for example. You can get like giant ranges, but then as soon as you like everything, like the bass is hitting at like minus 2 or something like that, then like everything only has like a few dB to wiggle around.
Yes.
Type shit.
Yeah, and notoriously the kick like fucks everything up.
Right.
Because a kick is just like a really loud.
It should be pokey.
Sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like that was what I was spending the most time on specifically was the kick. Like, how do I get because my kicks have always been like really punchy. Yeah. And the way I would do that is I would just like compress them really hard. Right. So I was trying to get them to hit hard without being loud. And then building the song around that. So I feel like I have a much better understanding of that now. And Dream Yoga is my first song where it's like traditionally mixed and mastered.
Dope. I just think it's like the quality difference is unbelievable.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so too.
I went back and like listened to every song of yours, like doing the shit for this, like warming up for this interview, and like, dude, it's like, just to be clear, like I had Elroy's songs in my top 5 most played for like years, and now it's some weird shit. Now it's like I like had an Ant song on like repeat all night the other night, so that's gonna be at the top for a long time. But so yeah, I like fell in love during like the Sunny era, and like Zebra is still like one of my favorite. This is awful, but it's one of my favorite things you've ever made. Just because I don't know, I like intros and like the whole song's an intro. So it's like I'm a slut for that song. But like the clarity of Dream Yoga is like, dude, like the way your voice comes in like at the start, it's just like like you're just like, oh my god.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's what took so long was like figuring out how to make stuff that because I also like sold a lot of my equipment and like bought
beautiful.
Like this is a relatively new mic going through like new gear.
Look at us.
So like I just wanted to keep the sound that I had built but just make it better.
Got you. All right, hell yeah. And even but you so I'm hearing you feel like Ivy is a better you prefer the song?
Again, I can't formulate an opinion on Dream Yoga yet.
Okay, I love that.
I obviously like it because I put it out, but I don't know. It's like it's kind of sits apart from the rest of my songs like in my brain.
Dream Yoga?
Yeah, it's just like I don't even know like
I mean, it's like a whole new technique.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like I don't know how to I think it'll be easier to compare it to things when I've put out more stuff using the techniques I know now.
And it's like I feel like it's a new era as well.
Yeah, for
sure. Like emotionally and everything. Like this, yeah. Like being in like a new place and the whole 9.
I agree. Yes. Yes. So
how do you feel like? Damn, I feel like I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Because I really want to get into. First of all, like how you process like songs coming out and like how you enjoy them after they've come out and like how like stats influence that and stuff. But how do you think? What was your process like creating Dream Yoga? Like, what was making that song like?
Well, this is actually funny because you were playing video games right outside my room when I made the
Chivalry.
beat. He was playing Chivalry.
Getting some waxing.
So I was like making the beat, and I would just hear him like, cause he was on the phone. You were on the phone with one of your friends, right?
Yeah.
So I would like hear you like yell.
Wait, I was not on the phone. I was just. I'd just be talking to myself a lot, yo.
You were playing Chivalry. I would hear you like get into it, and I was kind of just in the zone in here. But yeah, that was one of those things where like Scro, the guy who did the guitar, sent me these guitar loops, and the one that I ended up using, I mean, I built the song around the guitar that happens in the intro, and then I had him do more stuff like the acoustic at the end and whatever. But the loop that I used throughout like most of the song was like, I heard it, and it was one of those things where like within like 2 seconds I was just like, dude, like I'm making a song with this and it's coming out. Like it was like this overwhelming amount of confidence where I was just like, dude, like this is going to be an incredible song. It's going to come out.
Yeah.
Because the guitar by itself does this thing that I've realized I care most about in music and art in general, which is where you can't really describe what you're feeling. Like I don't really like art that you can describe, I guess. I just want it to be like a complex thing that if you try to explain, you just kind of like fumble over your words.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And that's what that guitar loop felt like. And then I had this hook that I wrote like 2 or 3 years ago in a demo I made with Ty, actually. Like I think 3 years ago, like during lockdown, like me and Ty would get on FaceTime and we would just like crank out songs. Like so quickly.
I did not know this until like a week ago.
Yeah,
and then Ty's like pulls up like 24 songs or some shit.
Dude,
like,
we would just crank songs out. And I'm still using stuff I've written like during those sessions now.
Yeah. It's so fire.
Because I feel like we were just such in this zone where like we were just messing around and like,
yeah, that's beautiful.
That's why we would end up writing such good things. So I wrote that hook in a FaceTime session with Ty. I wrote it in like 5 minutes, and then made slight alterations to it like over the course of a year or two. And I was so in love with the hook that I like couldn't let go of it. And every single beat I made, I would just sing that hook on it.
Oh my god!
And it ended up becoming like this obsessive thing where it was like I can't like
what can you? Is there a song out that like you tried that hook over first?
I definitely tried it over Ivy.
Damn, that's so dope.
And probably Bones too.
Damn,
as well as Parasite. But so the songs that have come out since I wrote that hook, yes, I tried it on.
Yeah.
But
wow,
it was I feel like I built up the hook in my head to be like such a big thing that like I wanted to make sure the instrumental was perfect for it. I don't really think that's like a super healthy way of thinking about it.
So it's the sort of thing where it was like, I've got this hook that's like that good.
Yeah.
That, like I will not like, and so you're saying like every instrumental that's like come up and that has been put out. So like Parasite, Bones, Ivy, you're just like,
yeah,
it's not good enough type shit.
Or it was like, it just doesn't like fit it properly.
Sure.
Yeah, I think, I just thought the hook was really good. So like the rest of the song needed to also be really good.
Yeah.
And like the right key and like tempo for it.
Right, yeah.
So I have many versions of this song that are like fully finished or like almost finished that have this hook in it. I like previewed one like 2 years ago in the Parasite making of video.
Oh.
And they've all been like totally different songs, but like I don't know. I started singing that hook over that guitar loop. And again, it was just like an instantaneous like, oh, okay, it's going to go on this one.
Damn.
But the funny thing about Dream Yoga as a whole, like writing wise, is that the only the only writing on that song that I actually did like specifically for that song is the first verse.
Damn.
The like, bitch, don't kill my
My
vibe.
vibe.
Like
Yeah.
that stuff I wrote for that song, that little section. Everything else is just like things that I grabbed from demos I made like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. That second verse is like, yeah, that's like, I think that's like my favorite verse you have out.
Thank
right
you.
now. That shit is
Thank
so
you.
nice. We like tried to sing it the other day, like without breathing, and it's
You can't,
impossible.
you can't sing
do
it in reality
So
without taking a breath.
yeah, put it. Everybody post that in the music channel of the Elroy Discord of y'all trying to sing that verse without taking a breath, because we can't do it. So that is so dope. Oh my god. I also love how it like comes in like halfway through like the second part of like you cut yourself off to like bring that second verse in,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
so sick.
Cause yeah, I've been really into like when verse melodies are the same throughout the song, which
Yes.
isn't something I've done until Ivy.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, I need to do it again for Dream Yoga. But then I was like, oh, but I also want a different verse there. So I was
Yeah.
like, let me do the first verse for like a second and then like cut it off and go into something else.
Oh, fire. That's so sick. Cause I always registered it as like part of like a secondary part of the hook or anything, but that's sick. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, overall it was a song that came like pretty quickly, but I did kind of slave over it for like a month, I think. Yeah, I would say for me the sweet spot is like 2 to 4 weeks. Is like how long I need to work on a song before it's like finished. If it goes longer than that, it's probably not going to come out and I'm going to hate it.
Yeah.
I think Dream Yoga was getting close to that where I was like working on it too much.
Yeah.
So I just had to like submit it.
You just had to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Just go. Do you so like over the past year, I'm assuming that you've just been like I'm not assuming. I know you've been making hella music.
Yeah.
He says angrily. But so do you feel like that's kind of what was happening, where like you'd spend too much time on it type of shit, or
Just all the music I was making. in
yeah? So
general.
like I guess what was we've talked about this, but what do you feel like the biggest difference was, like feeling wise, about this song as opposed to, I guess, like why this one as opposed to all the other ones that you made?
Yeah, I've been trying to think about that because like I don't know if I can answer that. I feel like I was just trying like way too hard with a lot of the stuff I was making. Dream Yoga, the effort came later. It was like most of the song was laid out. I had like recorded most of it, and then it was just about really, really tiny things like recording this one word so that it sounds the way it needs to.
Yeah.
Getting the mix all polished and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, every song I have that's actually come out has been like relatively effortless. There's always like a push at the end to get things like totally finished, because I find that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But it has to come like pretty easily. It has to be, I feel like we talk about this a lot, and I've kind of described it as like a days sort of thing, or like you're not even actually doing anything. You're just like sitting there, and then like you're like, oh, like I have like a song. That's basically how most of my songs that have come out have gone.
Right.
And the songs that don't come out are the ones where like I was there the whole time.
And you're like, I gotta make this
yeah.
goddamn hook. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it has to be pretty easy.
Yeah, so the forcing it is not working.
No.
Do you feel like anything you put out has been a forced one? Like, do you have any experience with putting out forcers?
I think there's a couple songs, like I know like Zebra and Dream Yoga are like similar and Air are similar songs in that like I like grinded away on them for like a month. I think in some of those other songs cases like 2 months. But again, it's like all the ideas were like there really quickly, like on the first day. Yeah. And then it was about like, I think these ideas are really good. Yeah. I need to make the song like even crazier.
Yeah. And so you're just building on it.
Yeah.
That's dope. Cause those are 3 of my favorite songs by you for sure. Is Air the one that's like boom, boom, boom?
No, that's Ice.
Damn it. Never mind. I fucking hate Air. Air's the worst. Trash. Anyway. Go on.
Yeah. Like I don't mind when it's like super hard and like frustrating once the actual groundwork has been laid.
Yes.
But the groundwork laying has to be easy for me.
Yeah, I feel the fuck out of that. I feel there's that energy that you were talking about like that. We were talking about this the other day filming a TikTok. So like, is that out? Did the TikTok?
No, maybe.
Soon come.
Big things soon.
Coming to DVD and video.
It's like a 3-second TikTok.
It's the best TikTok you've ever had. I filmed it, so no bias. But goodness gracious. But yeah, we were talking about how like that was the first time, like feeling like the utmost confidence all of a sudden, like when a song starts. Was that the first time that had happened in a while?
With Dream Yoga?
Yeah. Like that feeling of like you hear that guitar loop and you're like, this is happening.
It was, it was.
When was the last time that happened?
I mean, that was how Bones was as well.
Oh.
And then that's a
banger.
Actually, now that I think about it, that's how all my songs were.
Yeah.
Up until Ivy. Ivy was the first time where I made something and then like didn't work on it for like 7-8 months and then like came back to it and finished it.
Yeah.
That's like the only time that's happened.
Yeah.
So, but given that I only like those songs were 2 years apart, or 1 year apart each.
Yeah.
Like, time-wise, like the amount of time that spanned all of that, what I felt with Dream Yoga was a very new feeling. It like brought me back to like a couple years ago. Where, like, I would hear something and be like, "Oh my god, like I'm gonna make a song."
Yeah, that's. I feel a song coming on.
Yeah.
That whole life's a musical, and you're just like, I gotta.
Yeah, like you know how that feeling is.
Oh yeah.
And then life gets like better because like when you know. Yeah, when you know that you have a good song that you're working on, it's also a dangerous place to be because like you have to make sure you actually finish.
Yeah. Gosh darn it, Tizzy, can we put you on that? Yeah. Somebody's ringing the board. Census lady? I did the census today. I did the census, y'all. Do your census. The lady had the nicest voice of all time, just like a violent New York accent. It was incredible. Thank you, Ty. This is a good time to check on how everything. Bro, the lighting. I'm just gonna show Elroy the monitor right now. Bro, look at how moody this shit is. Oh my god! It's like
bedtime story.
I might, I mean, that's what we're doing right now. I might scooch in a little close. And that's intense as shit. Look at us. Maybe scooch in a little closer. A little top. All right. I'm gonna check the chat too to make sure y'all are all healthy and wealthy. While Tizzy is doing backflips for us. I don't know what that was either. Twitch. Yeah, everybody's chilling. Everybody's chilling. Everybody freaked out when you came in through the door. Oh! I'm just gonna. Any updates? All right, you come back in when you feel like it. I think somebody got food. Did you order food?
No.
All right, maybe Tizzy got food. Okay, so here he comes. Hey, what happened?
It was just the Amazon guy.
Oh, gosh, darn it. I think, dude, that's my soap, I think, actually. Dub. Wait, I got new soap. Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. Were you in the middle of saying something?
No, I think I finished the thought. It was just like, groundwork's got to be easy. Oh, life is good when you have a song that you're working on that you like.
But you can get lost in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like there's like, at least for me, there's like a month out. Mm-hmm. There's an expiration date on that feeling.
Yeah.
If you haven't fully executed on the work at that point in time, life gets like really bad.
God damn it.
But if you do execute on it, you're like chilling.
Okay.
That's how it is for me.
Just to normalize things also, like this, obviously this is how the month thing seems to be like a consistent thing, which is a dope thing to realize. For me, for example, it's very different. Like I will hold on to songs floating around for like years at a time. as anybody who's been following me well knows, it takes a minute. But you know, and some songs are like very much grindy ones where it's like, fuck it, like let's just for like the whole time. So there's like a big variety to it. Just to anybody who's like, shit, I don't finish songs in a month, I can't put it out. Like the point of this is to normalize. So
yeah, and I think too the key is like just finding. I don't know. I'm almost convinced that there's just like an internal clock.
Yeah.
That just like it seems like the sort of emotions I go through when I'm working on a song hit on like the same. It's just on the same rhythm every time. Like 2 weeks in, I feel like this.
That is so dope to notice.
This stage in the song, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
That's such like a vital piece of self-awareness. I feel like just to like did you like discover this recently? Do you feel like?
I think this was all established when I made like my Demon Slayer EP.
Damn.
Because that worked in like a very rhythmic way. Maybe I've sort of convinced myself I had this clock based off of my experience making that project, but
hey, placebo works 50% of the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like I like believe in it enough to where I feel like it does something because whether or not it's real, like I've kind of made it real by believing in it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this shit is the music thing is so like it's such a mental game. Like so just whatever to make your brain go yep is like exactly what you need to do. Like if it's rubbing two crystals together or like high-fiving a sandwich, like either one you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Do you have that sort of like? Do you have some sort of like?
Yeah, sandwich high fives every day. Every day I wake up in the morning, I do yoga, I make a coffee, and then I make a sandwich, and I just beat like straight. And then songs come out at a rate of about like one every year or two, so it works super well historically. No. To answer the question, no.
It's more like nebulous.
It's super nebulous. I would like if anything, it's like the other way where it's like songs will be like floating around and then there will be a click point where it's like, oh shit, this is the song. And then it'll just be like just like unload from there.
But that point will come at a different time in the process.
Yeah, hell yeah. It is chaotic. Like, I don't know. I think we're about to go talk about this right now, but you know, around where we first started releasing music, it was like so much quicker, quicker. The turnaround was like weeks instead of years type of thing. And I don't know, part of that is like having the fuck it, like nobody's listening anyway, like let's go type of shit. Like that's kind of beautiful. But another part of it is just knowing what you don't know type of shit. Like it's kind of like with anything, like the more you learn about a topic, the more you're like, fuck me, like I don't know what gain staging is, like you know what I mean, like whereas like when you first start making music, you're like, I know what a fucking chord is, watch this. Or maybe you don't, like maybe it's just like, I know this sounds good, and at the end of the day, like that's all that matters.
Exactly.
So it's like at the start when like you have that lack of information, there's like a beauty to that where it's like, it's just like, fuck it, like I'm gonna the kick is gonna peak at plus 13 because it sounds good. Yeah, and like that's what we're gonna do, and you know that's dope. But you know, and then as you learn more and more, then you spend like a year learning how to fucking master for no reason. Yeah, there is a reason. There is. It's like the last like 1% of like how like you know what I mean. But it's noticeable. It is noticeable at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I do think too, especially like as I don't know how noticeable the quality upgrade is to like the average listener, but you know,
I mean, it seemed big, like the comment, like
but I do think that I feel like for both of us, a large portion of like the dedicated fan base is like they produce music, and
that's true.
So they kind of know about that stuff. But I do think regardless of who notices or not, as an artist, you have to just like you have to keep trying to do something cooler. Yeah, that's you gotta keep yourself entertained.
It's just
you got it. Like if you feel that there's something weird about your masters,
then it's just not gonna cut it. Yeah, exactly. Like you're not gonna put it out if you're like, damn, that shit sounds garbage. Like if
like just gonna. I don't. This seems to be a pretty unpopular opinion, but I hear people say a lot like, oh, even if you don't know how to feel about your song or whatever, put it out because like. You can't be the judge of it. Like other people could
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
weird. Yeah.
Like I just don't get that. It's
Yeah,
like
that is weird.
I think you should believe that it's a really good song.
You should like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I would. I think that was like one of the things that like got me into putting music out. Like, it was like, oh, like if I like it, there's like statistically maybe someone else will.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
because
that's a
one
better-
human already enjoys
yeah,
that type of shit.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's like if you don't like your music, also if you don't like your music, it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of. It's okay, you know what I mean? Like to not enjoy your music, but I don't think you have to like force yourself to put it out either.
Yeah,
Which
no.
is I don't know, but there's a lot of factors into how you end up enjoying your music. Like how much you enjoy music does change.
Yes.
Like I've been going through like a period of like I just like don't like music.
Yes,
That was a long one. I was just on podcast mode.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Watching a shitload of ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah, I've had those phases as well.
Ugh. There's also times of day. Like if I try and like at like 3 to 5 p.m. is like my dead zone type of shit. Like I just get so tired.
If you try to listen to music during that, you're just like,
yeah, if I try to
what?
make music, it's like, oh wow, like I am the worst to ever do it. Like this is awful. Everything's out of time. Like I don't know if we've talked about having those moments where you like put on a song and you're like, why does it
It's
sound
really
slow?
fast or slow,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Especially like your own music. Like I remember like skating one time and putting Como on and I'm like, what the fuck? Like why is this like 30 BPM slower? Like what? But like on that note of like processes changing and shit, re-up. Also talking to your mic real quick, I just want to like
Is it
outside of it. Like hold it away.
yo.
No, hold it closer.
yo,
Perfect. Do again.
yo,
Go again.
sandwich?
Perfect.
All right.
Just doing a levels check. So everybody grab some water. Make sure everybody's well. I hope everybody in chat's happy. Ty's putting on the hat. Checking the viewfinder. Cheers, bro. What?
Oh yeah.
Ty, get in here, by the way. Oh, thank you. Fire.
Get in here for the cheers.
Get in here for your
Is it?
Damn. Maybe you just stretch that out with your big boy skull.
Cheers.
Ty put a bunch of water in that bottle. Stay hydrated, y'all. Okay. So on this note, I've been waiting for this one. What do you do? The glass with the mic hold is so deep. This man is a professional, so this is everybody. Get comfy. I'm getting a tweak in my a tweak in my neck. A tweak.
A tweak.
The stream. Yeah, that's my bad, y'all. That was my fault. Damn. Shout out. Hey.
Wait, did it come out in the mic?
What?
Your twitch and then your neck? It was like a...
No, the tweak in my neck.
Oh.
I just said a no word on accident.
Oh.
So anyway, we're moving on, y'all. Okay, so we got chat's on it. Is chat on it? Yo, I don't know how to follow from that. That was my bad, y'all, in an accident. So we're gonna be moving on. So yeah, okay. For a long time, I've been very interested in how like your projects before Elroy. And like, cause you kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was 2019, yeah?
2019, yeah.
Mid 2019, Sunny comes out and everybody's like, ooh. And then like an Aries a fan page posts a bunch of hate stuff. And
Yeah.
We'll get into that
And
later.
yeah, that was my start.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So talk to me about your first experience wanting to create music.
Like formally or just like the very first?
Like when were you like, damn, I like I'm making music right now?
Making or just like anything music related?
Anything music related.
Okay, because my brother had a drum set.
Yeah.
That was in our basement, and it was like, I don't know why it was down. I guess for sound reasons.
Yeah.
And it was like pitch black in there, and our basement was scary as fuck. And I was super young, and I didn't want to go down there because it was really scary. But I would hear him playing the drums, and so I would go down there when he wasn't home because he didn't like that I would play his drums. So I would go down there and I would try to play loud enough that I like wasn't scared of what was going on down there anymore. And then the instant I stopped playing, I would freak the fuck out and run back upstairs.
What?
So I would have these like short
How
bursts.
old were you?
Like four or 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
what? This is
Yeah, dude.
deep.
Yeah, drums were for sure my first instrument.
So you were what? And
Yeah.
is this like in the house that like I know?
No. This
Oh.
was like my childhood home.
Damn.
Yeah. And I would so I would do that. I probably did that for like a couple years before I like touched another instrument.
Wow. Just trying to play the monsters away in the basement.
Yeah. And then I got a little like keyboard for Christmas one year that had like loops on it and stuff.
How old were you when this keyboard came out?
Pretty young stuff. I was probably about 6.
Damn.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
The thing is though, I didn't like fully utilize it until a couple years later, but it was like a toy keyboard. It was like Buzz Lightyear themed
Sick.
or something.
Fire.
And it had these little loops. And I remember probably a couple years later, like I would toss the loops on and just like make little. I was always big on chord progressions. Like even before I knew anything about music, when I started messing around with those loops, my goal was always, let me find little 2-note clusters that I can play in sequence that like makes sense.
And you were 6.
No, I was probably like 9.
9?
That was a couple years after I got
so
that
young.
thing.
You're just like, let me just make sure this anime ass intro, like 12 chords.
Yeah, like I was big on the chords.
But so there was like 2-note clusters.
Yeah, like I would, because I didn't know. To me, like that was in my brain. It was like that's a chord when 2 notes can play at the same time and they work.
That is so.
So I was probably just playing fifths, like a 1 and a 5, and
Yeah.
like just moving up and down over like these. Like I remember there was a this like I don't think the loops had names because there wasn't a screen on them, but there was this like construction site sounding loop, like it sounded like
drum
this
loop?
industrial like. Yeah. And I loved that shit, bro. Like I would loop the industrial beat and just be like bing bing bing. It was some like garage shit. I did that for like 2 years probably. Like my favorite pastime was just playing chord progressions over that construction site.
It was just that loop was like, you're like, yeah. That's awesome. Holy fuck.
And then like
Wow.
one of my brothers got like a big MIDI keyboard that had like all these bells and whistles. And he was super into it for like 2 days and then like lost interest. So I like took it from him and put it in my room.
Wow. And was this like solo? Like, was this like you didn't need to plug it into anything?
Yeah, it was like battery.
Dope.
So
And
I
it like
would-
made
I
its own. You'd like put headphones in it or something.
No, I would just play out this. It had a little speaker on it. So I would just like have it on the ground and I would just like lay like on my stomach, and, like kicking my
Feet up?
feet. And
That's
that
so dope.
that had like a huge sound bank. So like I feel like that,
Oh yeah, game over.
yeah, that's when I became interested in like all the different
Composing
sounds.
type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also had this thing where you could. It had a bank of like these classical songs and you could play any key you wanted and the song would play and it would show you on the screen like what the actual chords were. So I love to like
What?
put like these really complex classical songs and just hit one key and like pretend that I was playing the song. But that like taught me a lot about chords because I would play the note and it would show me what the actual chord was.
Yeah.
So after
dope.
the
Was it one of those ones where, like on the screen it would show you the piano roll and
Yeah.
it would like
Exactly,
So it's
yeah.
like fucking Rock Band. type
Exactly,
shit.
yeah.
Yo, yeah.
So like once I got bored of like, okay,
Yeah.
this is like I'm not actually playing this song. It's like
Yeah.
I can't take credit for this.
Yeah.
Then I tried to actually learn the chords from the songs, and that was how I
Damn.
started to like actually learn music. I feel like.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's so cool, bro. We gotta find that like garage beat
Oh
thing.
my
Like, can you imagine? This explains so much. I creep and crawl like a creeper. It's fucking crazy. That's so fucking dope.
Yeah. So that was like the early days.
That's the early stage. So when did you get how old were you when you got the MIDI keyboard?
like the big boy.
Yeah, the one that showed you the chords.
That was like 10 or 11, I think.
Wow, you were still so goddamn young. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, damn. Chad is getting extremely slutty. I'm not even gonna answer that question. I see y'all.
What do they say?
I'm just gonna say good in response.
Good.
Good. What do you think the question was?
I don't know.
Okay, moving on. Wait, hold on. Okay, you were 12? Okay. When did you get the first semblance of like wanting to sing over these songs that you were like being?
That actually came, because I know that came pretty early for you, right?
Yeah, I was singing before I did most stuff, yeah.
Yeah. That, because for me, that was, I didn't really, I wasn't really interested, or it never even crossed my mind to do that.
Yeah.
Until I was like, well, I mean, it was Owl City. We can talk about Owl City
Dude, no.
This will be lengthy.
One of the questions is, what are your top three musical influences? So let's get into Owl City.
Yeah, so let's talk about Owl City.
Would you say that Owl City is your like number one musical influence?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, not specifically Owl City, but like, I don't know if y'all know this, but Adam Young, he's the guy behind Owl City. So he made like all that Owl City shit by himself. But he also had...
And you were like pre-Ocean. What is the first what is the Fireflies Owl City album? Is it just self-titled?
That was his third album.
Okay.
But he had a ton of side projects. Like he made IDM, he made like ambient instrumental music, he made like acoustic like singer-songwriter shit.
Right.
He was kind of he made like screamo shit. He was kind of
my God.
Yeah, he made everything.
What?
Under all these different names too. And you know, I found out about him when like most people did, like through Fireflies.
Yeah.
And it didn't really like grab my interest in like that crazy of a way, but I just remember getting an iTunes gift card one year. And I was about to go on a long flight, so I was like, I should buy something to listen to.
Yeah.
I'd never bought an album before, and I was
oh
like,
my God.
I'm going to buy it.
How old were you in this?
Like 12?
12? Yeah,
12.
yeah.
I was like, I'm going to buy my first album.
Yeah.
And I like looked at Ocean Eyes, which is the album Fireflies was on.
Banger.
And I was like, that looks kind of cool. Like, Owl City's a cool name. Obviously, I knew the song Fireflies.
Yeah.
And I could listen to the previews on iTunes. I was like, this is cool.
Dude, the iTunes previews.
Yeah, like you'd get like 30
I forgot
seconds
about
of the song.
that. Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds like, it was more the idea of it. I was like, the name and like the cover art, I was like, this looks dope.
Wow, like aesthetically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I bought it. And then it was like exclusively what I listened to for like a long time.
Dude,
and very shortly after that, I found out it was made by one guy.
Wow.
Like, on this program called Reason. So that's why
you start with Reason?
Yeah, I started with Reason.
Oh my God.
And then, like, I kid you not, I consumed only his music for like, from the age of 12 to like 15, 16. And I started getting into more stuff at that point, but still it was mostly him and like all of his side projects.
So when you were, how did you find the side projects? Like, were you like big on the internet at this point already?
Yeah, like I was reading his blog and like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like.
Wow.
He had a blog where he was a really good writer. He would just write.
Dude, who
like,
is this guy? Oh my God.
He was just like this dude from Minnesota who was just good at making things. But yeah, I was like super into like trying to uncover like different songs of his that were on these weird different like artist names that he had started. And it was definitely finding him that made me want to sing on my stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of, because I was so young and impressionable, I was like, I'm going to follow the same path he did, which is where he made a ton of instrumental music and put that out.
Yeah.
And then Owl City came later, which was his first attempt at singing. And like, that's what like really was popular.
That was the one. Yeah.
So I was making like all instrumental music. And I would sing, and I was figuring out how to process vocals and do that on the side. But like my interest was in making these like ambient albums.
Yeah. How old were you at this point? Like 16?
No, like 13. Well, I got Reason at 13.
Okay. All right.
I was making all ambient stuff.
Yep.
And then when I got older, I switched to Ableton at like 16 maybe. And that's when I learned how to make like hard hitting.
So what did you what like brought about the switch to Ableton?
Oh, it was one singular thing. Reason they do now, but they didn't have third-party plugin support back when I had
what?
it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So you could only use the stuff that was in Reason.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I was just like, dude, like, I feel like I learned the basics of music making just like fucking around in Reason, because none of the videos I watched applied to Reason, because they're all like, oh, how to do blah 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 in like Massive or like all these weird.
Oh, that shit was so annoying.
I know. I was like, dude, like I can't even like, even if I could buy that, I can't use it in my software.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be able to. I think it was Massive specifically. I was like, I want to be able to use this. So I got Ableton just to do that.
Dude, I remember like being on GarageBand on like my family's like desktop Mac and being like, how to make wobble bass in GarageBand. And then just like a bunch of Massive videos came up. I'm just like, I can't, like, what do you want me to do with this?
That's what I'm saying. Any tutorial you looked up, like they were showing you how to do, because Massive was like the shit.
It was,
that was around like Skrillex.
Yeah, it was infuriating. I mean, obviously, but yeah.
So,
I remember when Serum came out, and I heard like one of my EDM friends be like, it's replacing Massive, and I was like, fuck Massive. And then like just because it was like throughout my life, I just like couldn't have it. And I bought Serum like immediately. Like, it was like just like I purchased it. I was like, give me that. I think I was on like cracked DAW at the time, but I like bought Serum out of spite. Yeah, damn. That's wild. So like, I think, okay, first of all, this gets into something that I think is like super important, where it's like when you first start making music, like you don't pay attention to third-party plugins. Because I know now you're like a huge user of third-party plugins.
Oh, yeah.
But like at the time when you're first getting into it, I think like a lot of people fall into like a trap of like, it's just like, I need to buy a plugin to make it sound good. And it's like, sure, yes, but like, I don't know. There's a certain amount of understanding that comes with like fucking around in stock that is like super special.
There definitely is, yeah. And I think even in Ableton too, like there was probably a solid, like my first like 2-3 years in Ableton was like all stock before I started getting all the others. Or I probably bought like just Massive when I got Ableton.
Yeah,
because I was like, I need to have it.
Dude, I mean, fair enough. Like if you're trying to like do any emulation of like what people are doing, it's kind of like you gotta get Massive.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think your I was gonna save this question for later, but what is your like one? Okay, actually, I'm gonna expand this question. What was your favorite Reason stock plugin? Like most memorable. What is Thor?
Thor was this synth in Reason that Adam Young used to make the Fireflies. Like
that was the one.
Yeah.
Yo,
Thor.
What a hoe for making Fireflies, just raw stock plugins on Reason.
I mean, the thing is, I think it is basically just a sine wave with like delay, but but with like zero attack, so it clicks.
Yeah. And then fucking I mean, dude, people were into Reason, like fucking Allure Dance.
Yeah. I remember watching the video on that.
Was that like sax sound recorded in, or was it like?
No, that was a preset on what was it called? NX30 or some shit. Dude, like the sampler.
That's a
that
nice
was
sounding goddamn thing.
Reason had some funny, some like.
Dude, is Reason the one that like you could wire shit? Like you could like turn it around and it had
press
wires.
Tab and everything
flipped around.
It's like, why the fuck?
That's kind of hard though. I remember seeing that like in like the one music technology class I took. One of my friends was using Reason and I was like, what the fuck is that, dude? Like,
because I think the DAW was designed to work like analog shit.
Yeah.
So it was made for like analog heads to get into the digital world.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. That's dope. I mean, you know what? Respectable.
Respect. It was a good DAW, but yeah, it was just like, I mean, they have third-party plugin support now. So I'm sure it's.
Ugh. They sold out. Anyway, moving on. Moving to your Ableton phase. What do you think currently is there an Ableton stock plugin you can't live without, or what is your favorite one outside of that? Do you use any Ableton stock
Like,
plugins right now?
No, that's what I'm trying to think.
Okay, what is from
Okay,
your days?
well, I have an answer. It's
Okay.
auto filter, but it's literally like it's a low pass and a high pass. That's what it is.
Fire. That's a great answer. That
Yeah.
is actually a
I
great
use
answer.
that all the time, but
Yeah,
and I use
you'll automate that.
Ableton's EQ sometimes. But
Mhm.
other than that,
Whack.
I'm a huge slut for third party plugins,
Facts.
as you would say.
Facts. With I mean, and then also I guess you have like Max for Live, which is just like
Yeah,
such
but
a
I still
special-
haven't dove too far into that.
Yeah, I
But
remember
it is
seeing like that one bouncy one where you could just like take notes and it'd be like, oh, beep, 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 beep. And I was just like, what? Ableton's crazy, bro. I have so much
Ableton is
respect for that. So then what is the third party plugin you can't live without?
Dude. This is actually such a hard question. It was FabFilter Pro C2, which is
Yeah.
the compressor.
Yes.
But then I stopped compressing stuff so hard,
Uh,
so I don't even touch that anymore.
damn.
So that's what I'm trying to think. Like, what would it even be now? Well, that's mastering though.
You're allowed to say aux. I mean, well, yeah. What is something that like you're like? I don't know. Is there like something you put on like every channel?
That's
Like, what kind of EQ do you use?
Pro Q, but
Okay.
that's a boring answer.
All right.
Dude, wait, this question is like bothering me.
I gave you the questions.
I know. And that was the one that I skipped over because I was like, I'll answer that. I'll be able to answer that so fast. You know, I'm gonna say Serum.
Serum's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
I'm gonna
That's a
say
great
Serum
answer.
because anytime I want to make a sound that's in like the synth realm, like it's
Yeah.
just Serum. Like
Yeah.
I don't even like touch other synths
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, no, Serum is kind of a go to everything. You can just about do whatever you want. I think.
Exactly, yeah.
which is terrifying.
It
I like
is.
barely. I have one sound that I use Serum for. I made like one preset like years ago that just goes like.
Is it-
It's just like, and it has like a super long like glide time. It's basically just like a song with chorus on it.
Dude,
And
that's the thing about Serum though, is like just like basic shit and it sounds incredible.
It does. But I'll often find myself making a sound in Serum and then being like, oh, fuck this. And then I'll go into retro synth, the Logic stock synth, and just be like, let me see if I can just make it in this. But the noise generator is so nice in Serum. So shout out Shaperbox because that's what I use for noise generation most of the time. Anyway. Shaperbox.
What is
Fire. It's just like, it's got a bunch of random shit, but it's got like, it's like a suite of envelopes basically. And so like you have like a volume envelope, there's like distortion, time. So like you can kind of cheat like a halftime plug-in like gross beat type of thing.
Oh.
And not the same. FL Studio has some of the coolest stock plugins.
Oh, yeah.
Like Logic will have like the most powerful like mixing plugins or whatever, but like FL Studio stock plugins,
They're really creative.
it's beautiful. Yeah. And like also shout out the fucking soft clipper in
Oh,
FL
yeah.
Studio. That is beautiful. If you want to
Sound
not
guys,
master, if you want to not master anything, just turn it up into soft clipper. That is beautiful. But yeah, no, Serum. You can make
Serum.
anything in that bad boy.
Yeah.
So when did you start? What was the first thing you uploaded
Like ever?
ever?
Oh, dude.
And how old were you?
I uploaded like an ambient album that I made when I was like 15 maybe.
How many songs? How long was it?
It was 12 songs,
Yeah.
50-minute runtime,
50?
a longer
50?
runtime than my entire current discography. It was about so I watched the movie Spirited Away.
Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, like I
At
didn't
13.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you say 15? Sorry.
I was either 14 or 15. I didn't see any of the Ghibli stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I saw Spirited
Probably
Away.
good. Spirited Away is
I know
terrifying.
you said it was creepy,
It
right?
fucked me up. I was like 6. Anyway, go on.
I could see that,
yeah.
but like that wasn't my experience because I feel like I was at an age.
Yeah.
It was like perfect time to see that movie.
Yes. Yeah.
And it just like changed my entire perception on like art in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
And so I made an album about, I used to take the train to school every day.
Wow.
So I made an album about like, I thought it was such a cool concept, but it was so basic. It was like, cause there's that train in Spirited Away. I was like, yo, what if I was like on that train for just like days? Like that was the
That's so fire though, bro. What are you talking
and it was
about?
like there were different rooms in the train. Like one of the songs was like the garden room where like you open up the doors and there's like
what?
a terrarium in the train.
Does this still exist?
Yeah, it's not on the internet, so don't try to look for it. But I can
all
show
right,
you.
y'all
I'll
get
show
the
you.
fuck out of here. This is exclusive, all right? When y'all are paying to live with Elroy, we can. We pay Elroy. We all pay Elroy to be in his presence. Damn, that actually sounds fucking dope. So
Yeah.
you still like have this?
Yeah, it was a concept album. Like all the songs bled into each other, and there was a ton of like.
Damn.
I collected all these field recordings like on my days going to
Fred
school
again?
and back. Yeah, like, it was
That's
yeah.
so sick. I've got to produce on the train. It's the only place I can really get the sound of it. It's amazing.
No, I did not. I still to this day feel like I have to be sitting down in like a more normal setting to produce.
Right.
But like collecting the samples and
inspiration
stuff
and the
was
samples.
yeah, that was like all on the train.
Dude, I would. So each of these songs are like 6-7 minutes long, or
12.
12
I'm
divided
bad
by
at math.
50. Yeah, it's like 12.
Four
six,
and a half minutes,
four-
maybe.
yeah, yeah,
Somewhere around there.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's not that great.
Yeah.
That's not. I was kind of You said 50 minutes, and I was like 11-minute songs, but yeah.
well,
yeah.
no, because 12 songs is a decent amount of songs.
Yeah, that is. That's an. I mean, that's an album.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So that was my first.
Can you like
release.
describe the soundscapes?
It was super soft and a lot of piano.
Mm-hmm.
I recorded on my family's piano.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of soft like pad noises. It was just very relaxing.
Can you make a pad noise that you would have made it? Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually got that, bro. No, like but like also like I like the and like the alluvium pianos like
yes, yeah.
Were you like listening to alluvium back then yet or
At
not?
that
really?
time, no, but I was listening to I'm sorry, I don't want to keep referencing back to Owl City all the time. But
No, we are in the Owl City mode. That's okay. We'll get
because
another
I'm
view.
always in the Owl City
Yeah.
mode. He had his one project was called Port Blue, where he did like all ambient stuff. I later came to find out that Port Blue was like heavily inspired by like alluvium and like Boards of Canada.
Really? Okay.
Boards of Canada. Well, we can talk about them later, but
That's number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
That's number 2 on the list.
so yeah, I was only like the only ambient music that I knew of was his ambient music, which was heavily influenced by these other like goats of ambient music.
Yeah. That's awesome. I would love
Yeah,
to tap
so,
into his
yeah.
ambient. Yeah. That's crazy. Were you about to say something right there?
No.
I'm just ad-libbing. So like he's just I mean, you know this. You can always talk over my ad-libs. Okay. Let's get into this. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to ask. Ant's got a celebrity
All right,
question.
Ant.
Oh,
Ant, where is Ant at right now?
Ant's at work. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
This is actually a perfect stopping point. Yeah. Get him up.
If you're watching the stream, answer
Answer
the FaceTime.
the FaceTime,
We
Ant.
got Ant in the chat.
Ant's about to be in the chat. Anthony Abbott.
Should I get him on the camera?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we got you. We got here. Well, I'll give you the monitor so you can see what you're doing here.
That lighting is so
It's
moody.
so OD, bro. Let me pull it a little closer.
I like it.
I know, but I want to. Oh shit! I might have moved the camera a little bit. I just want to face it towards you a little bit more, so you get a little bit more in your face. Yeah, dude, these little like Christmas lights kind of went pretty well in my opinion. In my opinion, I'm gonna check on the chat. How y'all doing? Sound off in the chat. You gotta pull it towards us. You gotta pull it toward. Well, no, that's not gonna work. Neither. Just hold. Yeah, exactly what you're doing. Fuck it. Just
Ant in the chat.
no, the other way. There you go.
But the microphone needs to be up here.
Oh, you're right.
All right. So Ant has a question. Ant, you're live. You're on camera right now.
What's up, y'all? My phone is busted, so my camera looks mad drain gang right now. I'm live from work out here. I just wanted to, first off, Elroy, I'm such a big fan. I can't believe I'm out here live on this show to ask you this special question.
Appreciate it.
I just want to know, Biscuit, who do you have in the NBA Finals and why?
Who's in the NBA
Who
Finals?
do you have in the NBA Finals?
Nuggets and Heat. Oh.
Thank you, Ant, for your celebrity question. We love you.
Nuggets v Heat. I'm going to have to go Nuggets. Just because of Jokic, the abominable snowman.
Ty, you got anything to say about this?
I have a lot to say about it.
Pull up. Because here's the thing, y'all. For some context, we play a lot of ball together, but I'm not very educated on ball.
Which way is the front?
The golden. There you go.
Why?
I just told you, Jokic. I just believe in Jokic
Bro,
as
the storyline is laid out.
No, okay.
For the Heat to win.
I enjoy the
this finals.
storyline, but not as much as I enjoy Jokic himself.
That's a valid excuse, but I don't think it overpowers the storyline.
I also don't think it does, but from a personal preference, I like looking at Jokic.
Bro,
I like
agree.
seeing
He's
him
master facilitator.
commandeer the offense.
Yeah, you're right. But I disagree.
I respect that. But
All right, we're on different wavelengths, but we'll see, bro.
we'll see.
We'll put some skin in the game. We'll see.
We will.
Who comes out alive?
We got skin in the game, y'all?
When is the first game?
When is the first
It might be going on. Like,
serious.
oh no, it's I think it starts this weekend.
When is the first finals game? It's April. Wait, what? Wait, no. When is the final? No, when is the finals game?
Here's what I found.
Okay. I don't know.
All right. Anyways, let's go Heat.
Do you have?
We'll find out. We'll
do you
find
have
out.
a celebrity question you want to ask? Right?
Oh shit. Honestly, I don't. But
Do you want to warm one up and then
yeah. Let me warm one up.
Get one in the
I'll come
chamber.
back.
get one? All right. Yeah, lock one up. All right, y'all. Beautiful. Okay, where were we? Goddamn, Ant's in the chat going crazy. Oh my god!
Is he
Shout
upset?
out basketball. Yeah, I think Ant's not. I think
He's
Ant's
upset.
Ant is unhappy. I have in my notes. Okay, well, I think we should hold on. I have in my notes. I'm a slut for a backstory. Tell me about what growing up was like for you. But we'll get to that in a second. Also, just to be clear, slut could not be a more positive term in this context. I just want to like reclaim that word.
What do you mean by reclaim it?
That's a great question. As in, just like put it in a more. I feel like sometimes you just gotta indulge in shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel. Like
I
that's
feel
a
weird.
dub.
I feel weird saying that just because. I don't know.
I think I also feel weird saying that in a live context, and like being outside of the sphere of our friend group, knowing it's like a post-ironic thing and putting it out on the internet. I'm
But
kind of like maybe I shouldn't be saying.
I feel like
this.
it makes sense the way you say it though. It's like you are ecstatic
Maybe?
about backstory. Like
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is something we got to retire in the live scene. Y'all, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let us-
because I'm on self-improvement arc right now, so y'all tell me how to not be an asshole, because that's something we're working on. Anyway, okay, no, because I do want to get like deep backstory, but before we do that, I'm just like trying to like lay out this arc in my head right now. Before we do that, let's just finish off where we are at. So you're putting out these ambient pieces for a while at this point.
yeah.
This is 15. You put your first ambient album out. Do you remember the name of your artist name?
Yeah, but I'm not saying.
You're not gonna say it?
because I don't know if I succeeded in erasing all of it from the internet.
Oh no. Damn. What? Okay. How many?
It was
Walk
animal
us-
related though.
It was animal
Yes.
related. I know the okay. That wire's about to knock that little glass
I'm
over,
watching,
you little
I'm
bugger.
watching.
All right. Okay. So walk us through your going public online experience. So your first one was an animal related artist name in which you put out a train based 50-minute ambient album, which I'm dying to hear. It sounds great.
Train-based music.
Train-based music. Talk me through it.
So
What's next?
Wait, can you rephrase that question?
Yeah. What was the next thing you did online?
So I kind of had many years in a row where I would make an artist project, do like an album or some sort of project. It was always concept. It was like I wanted to tell some sort of consistent story with these projects. They were all in like kind of different styles, but usually ambient leaning. So I did like 2 or 3 more projects that were more in the ambient style.
Were these all animal related?
Yes, they were. And then when I got Ableton, there was like a huge shift where like I got really into SoundCloud.
So all of the ambient pieces were Reason. Oh,
yeah,
dope. Okay,
think
this is like
because-
getting into how DAW affects your
exactly. Yeah,
compositions.
because I was gonna say I think that part of why that is I just didn't know how to make stuff like knock in Reason.
But do you feel like you wanted to make shit that knocked in Reason?
I think kind of, but not totally.
Okay.
There was like an interest,
Mhm.
and I think that's part of why subconsciously I switched to Ableton because I was like, I want to make something that's like louder. So I switched over to Ableton, got into SoundCloud, and I was listening to like, some like niche like future bass, but like these weird pockets. Like there was an account called Fan Service on SoundCloud that was like anime inspired, future bass leaning, like a collective of like 30 motherfuckers.
Was it like Kawaii future bass or just like raw future
almost?
bass?
But there was like some of the people in there were making ambient shit too. Like it was all, you know, do you know Izzard?
No. I wasn't super. You got it. I didn't really get into any.
He goes
niche
by
things.
Oak Screen now.
I know Oak Screen.
I think he was. Yeah, he was on the 84, 85 album.
Yeah, I know
Hanger.
Oak Screen. Yeah.
I think he was on Fan Service initially, because his older music was like more ambient.
Hanger is the best song of all time.
And so yeah, I got into that stuff, and then like I would start messaging people on SoundCloud asking them like how they were making these sorts of things.
Oh my god, that's awesome! What?
And then I started making like heavier hitting stuff in Ableton. Like I was really focusing on like punch and like loudness and
knock, one would say.
Yeah. And so I was on the knock wave for like a couple of years. And it was the sort of thing where I would do different projects where I'd put out. What?
Ty just started cracking up.
It's like delayed when I see y'all laughing.
Ty said Ty is watching the stream on his phone across from us, and he said, "Well, it's delayed, so when we laugh, he laughs." So he just double laughed. Oh my god, I love this household. Anyway, my two. Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna straighten up the lighting a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, bitch, good.
Okay, so yeah, I did that, and then I became focused on the single mindset, which I feel like I've maintained since then, where like I would see other like future bass adjacent artists putting out like single, like they would put out one song every like month or whatever. So I did that for a little bit, and the whole time in the background I was singing and like writing songs that I just didn't think were good. But the end goal was to make music like that I sung over.
Like future bass that you sung over.
Yeah, like these hard hitting like crazy shit, but like I would sing on it.
Just like hearing YouTube intros in my head right now. Just like,
but me just be like, oh baby, like singing some shit.
Yeah.
But I like was trying and it just wasn't, the execution just wasn't there.
Were they singing over it?
No,
yeah, because no one was really singing over future bass.
No,
like
and when
properly.
They did, it usually
it was
very
weird.
good.
Yeah.
But there were some really good remixes.
Right. Oh yeah, that's not. I mean, I guess like Ellie Goulding happened, which isn't really future bass. I guess like the Calvin Harris. I don't know.
The goated like SoundCloud future bass people would take. I'm trying to think of like a prime example of this.
Okay. Burn by Ellie Goulding. There was a Burn Ellie Goulding remix.
Future bass remix.
I think it was like during like the trap era though. It was like post future.
I think that's the future. That's the thing, because I was actually about to say like, future bass and trap had this sort of overlap. I think because they were kind of trap music had been popular for a little bit when future bass became popular, but I feel like everything was inspired by trap.
Yeah, which
still is basically.
Yeah. I'd forgotten that trap as a genre existed until just now.
Yeah.
That what was that? What happened?
I know,
there?
yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, I'm not huge on the history of it, but I think it was a thing since like late 2000s.
Wow, yeah.
Or early 2010s maybe.
I'm trying to like remember like what trap sounded like right now.
It's like Timbaland, bro.
Nah.
That's not considered trap.
No, because this wasn't. It's weird because it wasn't like.
I do think what's considered trap evolved from that though. Probably. I don't know. I just think about like early like Young Thug and shit like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I think was like early 2010s. Future bass did all that stuff, but it just made it like really loud and like
yeah. Got you.
I didn't want my music to sound like what the future bass remixes sounded like. I just wanted it to be like. I think this gets into like why I just couldn't put it out, because like it just wasn't what I wanted out of the music. I just had zero idea.
Right.
So trying to sing on it just never worked, because I like didn't know how to sing, and like I didn't know how to process it. And, I didn't know how to write songs properly.
So had you sung like ever before you started recording it? Like, was singing a part of your life?
Yeah, but not like huge. Like I don't know. I was never like. I feel like some people are like, oh yeah, like I was always singing around the house.
Yeah.
Or, like singing in the shower. Like I was never that into singing. I feel like.
Damn.
Because even like Owl City sung in a way that was so like weird, where it was like. To me, he has like the most beautiful voice of all time. But I know a lot of people don't agree with that.
He sounds like a fucking like damn, what are those things called where they like make like the anime, like they'll like make a robot that sings type of shit? What
he's like was
they
AI
sound like
sounding.
that. Yeah, they sound AI.
Which is why I loved it, because it was just so perfect.
Yeah, dude. Like the way like it would just glide from note to note. It was like so strange. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I think that's part of why, to me, singing was like, it was almost a secondary thing where I feel like even when I started to get better, like this is maybe skipping a little bit, but even when I like did the Elroy stuff initially, I viewed the voice as an almost like secondary thing where it was like, I think the songwriting was important, but the way my voice sounded, like whether or not it sounded processed or like weird, like didn't matter. I just wanted it to sound like unique, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I was never super interested in like really good singing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was also really into Death Cab for Cutie, who their singer also has like a weird voice.
Yeah. Like objectively
outpitched
awful, but it's like, I want to hear that for the rest of my life.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was kind of really into singers like that.
Yeah, so. Death Cab for Cutie is good. He's not objectively awful, but a lot of like genres in like the emo or artists in the emo genre, are like bad.
Their voices are just super raw, and like that's what makes them.
That's what makes it good. I remember my dad saying some shit where it was like he was listening to a song and he was like, "Man," because it was like 5th grade or something when we were like watching American Idol like religiously after school and shit like that. And we were like listening to a song just like a song, can't remember what it was. And he was like, "Man, you know what's crazy? This is an incredible song with incredible delivery, and they would just not make it past the first round of American Idol."
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that is like wildly inspiring. Like weirdly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think.
In fact, it's almost like opposites. Like it's almost like one, like you can't, like American Idol type W singing is not like, that's not what like grabs people type of shit.
No, but I do think there is a certain overlap where like what I've seen from those singing shows, it is the people with like these weird voices. That's what people like, cause like
Right. Okay.
it's the people who vote on those singers on those shows. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
You gotta have some like weird thing going on with your voice.
Dude, I just felt like it was always just like the most like okay, like objectively sure she can do the like woo, you know what I mean? Like fucking who won American Idol ever?
Sundance Head.
David Archuleta. Damn, I feel like I'm
Chris Daughtry was like top 5, I think, but
I don't remember that. Yeah. See, I'm not getting any of these names, but anyway, point is, I felt like it was always so generic. Whereas like the shit that was actually like making waves was always so like just the person, like so themselves and so like almost untrained would be like a word.
Yeah,
like,
I think in general with art, just like the technical aspect is kind of secondary. Usually it's just like if you can do something kind of like cool and interesting, like that's kind of what. I just feel like that's what art is about. Just
right.
do something cool. Like
yeah. And be yourself and yada yada. Fuck me. Do you so was Elroy the first was the Elroy project the first thing you released with your voice on it?
No. So I made a full length with my voice.
Dude, how many full lengths have you made and published?
Dude, a lot.
Oh my god.
A lot. I mean, like 6 or 7, maybe.
Holy cannoli!
But there's one full length. I had one full length.
6 or 7. So there's just like a day of music.
Yeah, there was a lot of music, but it was like mostly ambient. Some was
and
like,
then one with your voice.
Yeah, there's one with my voice that I made in high school. But I was still in Reason when I made that. That was like my goodbye to Reason because I made that album, and then when it was done, I like released it and was just like, yeah, this is just like not what I want to do.
Was there like response on the shit we were putting out at that point? Like on the
I
internet?
got like 2 comments on SoundCloud over the course of like 3 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
It just like it wasn't good. Like it wasn't awful, but just like wasn't.
Just
good.
didn't hit.
Yeah. Because I was singing like I would record in the middle of the night when my family was asleep. Because I was super self-conscious about my voice, and I would sing in this like really whispery tone, and then I didn't know how to use autotune, so it wasn't autotune. I didn't know how to EQ, so it wasn't EQ.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah,
Did you know how to compress at that point?
No, but I do remember putting a compressor on the vocal and just like leaving it there.
It's insane. I feel like that was like one of the turning points in my life. Was like learning how compression worked. Yeah.
Because I learned compression to make my kicks knock. That was in Ableton.
That was an Ableton mode.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I wow, yeah. I did not learn what compression was until like 2018. It was insane.
It is still like a weird thing.
It's still like
I feel like I understand it when I'm using it, but to like explain it, I'm like,
so
when something goes over the threshold, it gets dynamic.
Dynamics. If you make it's loud. So, and that shit's. Oh my god! I remember when I first started trying to like make tutorials about it. This was like 3 years into like putting music onto the internet and like it doing well. And I'm like, all right, this is how compression works. And then I'll like record the camera and I'll be like, dude, I don't know how compression works.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I remember like shout out Lahima, fucking explained it like in the YouTube comments. Like I would like explain compression and he was like, so not quite.
You like asked in the comments?
No, like I like explained compression in this video.
Oh.
And Lahima was like, yo, so like it's not really how knee works. And I still don't know how knee works.
On your video explaining how compression works.
So I think we got the rest of it right, but the knee I just did not have. I wouldn't be able to explain it now probably.
Hey, I'll give you some knee later though in Smash.
Captain Falcon?
Yeah. Dude, we gotta do a Smash stream. We gotta do a Smash stream.
Dude. We do have to do a Smash stream and a Gang Beast stream. Yeah. Gang Beast has been a fucking therapy recently. Therapy has also been therapy, so that's good. But fucking anyway, but yeah. So you put out the thing where you were singing on Reason. You go to Ableton. You start making Future Bass, which still exists on SoundCloud.
It does. Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Some of it does. Some of it does.
Are you gonna drop the name?
No.
Okay.
No.
The context.
No, but there is an account on SoundCloud that has mysteriously reposted like all of the Elroy songs, and that's me. So if you can find that.
So there's like an account that has reposted every Elroy song.
I think I stopped eventually because like I got enough traction that I was like, I don't really need to do this.
Oh,
right now.
really? Oh, wow. That's
Like I was
cool.
doing it in the very beginning because I was like, I need to like get somebody to listen to
Oh,
this.
yeah, for sure. I remember, I think your brother showed me some
Yeah.
of it. And I remember just being furious at how good it was. I was just like, dude.
Dude, it was pretty, yeah. I mean, it
It
was pretty good.
future-based.
Yeah.
Like, that was the shit.
yeah, it was some like loud, like, yeah. Like all the snare, I still use like a lot of those sounds. Like
Wow.
specifically drum sound. Like I think a lot of this shit I learned about drums during the future bass
Yeah.
time of my life. I still
Yeah.
use now because that was all like the drums, like transients
Yeah.
and like drums just cutting through the mix was always a thing in that music. And I
Yeah,
still
so
do that
true.
now.
Yeah. I mean, everything's like sidechained to like a billion in that genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just remembering like Tom feels like the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that every.
Dude, it was
fucking-
good music. Like it
It
was
was
just very
yeah.
well made, and it was really meticulous.
Yeah, meticulous. Yeah, and I guess that kind of goes. Yeah, I mean, I think that like shows in your music now. It's just like super meticulous, and like you've talked about IDM earlier today as well, which is like also like I don't know. We were talking the other day about how you just like fill every. I can't remember what context we were talking about it when this first came up. But you once told me, it was like, yeah, any space in the song I just want to fill with a sound.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, that's classic. That's so fire. Yeah.
Yeah, which that does come heavy from IDM too, for sure. But my introduction to IDM was Owl City because y'all like because everybody's heard Fireflies and you've maybe heard like Vanilla Twilight or whatever. Just go listen to the Owl City albums. Like listen to like Maybe I'm Dreaming, which is his second album, and just listen to the drums. Like just if you don't like his voice or whatever, just listen to the drums and they're gonna fucking blow your mind. They're just like they just like do like they don't repeat themselves. Like the patterns are like they're just shit happening like over here, over there, like all these crazy stutters.
And it's all like super tiny, like they're not like huge. You know what I mean?
No,
Like they're not
yeah.
like they're all real tiny.
They're all
like,
these tiny little
yeah.
sounds that are just like flittering all over the place. Which still like I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to make drums as good as him.
Damn.
Because he just consistently, I'm not gonna lie, his last albums were trash. I don't know what happened to him, but before
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what is your anyway? Go on.
I don't like his newer music, but his first couple albums were just like impeccable. Again, if you don't like his voice or whatever, I understand that. I think his voice is perfect. The songwriting is perfect, but the drums specifically are perfect. Like they just do, yeah, they're just perfect albums. His early stuff,
dude.
I'm sorry to keep gloating
I
about
love
him,
you
but
gushing. You're gushing.
I am, yes.
Yeah, that's,
Gushing.
I think it's beautiful, bro. It's great. Honestly, I feel like you have high standards in art. I think it's rare to see you gush about art.
Thanks. Yeah.
This might be the most I've ever seen you gush about art, actually.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, there's some people out there who make good music, but like he just did things in a way that even like to this day,
Yeah.
like 10 years after having gotten into him, like I still can go back to those songs and I'm just like, wow, like that's just really impressive.
Have you looked into like what you think changed? Like what you think maybe in his life or like in the way he makes music like changed as he to like kind of make the new albums hit not as hard for you?
I mean, obviously he signed a big record deal like with Fireflies.
Was that do you feel like after Fireflies is when it started going
the
downhill?
album after that, his first
signed album,
I think was good. It was like good in a different way. And the next one was not very good, and then it kind of just got worse.
Damn.
Because they started bringing writers on, and I think he had such an idiosyncratic way of making music.
What does that word mean? Sorry.
Just like off kilter. Like
yeah.
It was just like only he would do things in that way.
Yeah.
So, and I know that, like, if you look at the credits on his newer stuff, like, there was just people working on stuff with him. And he started singing about, because his lyrics, like, never made sense. They were always these, like, dreamy, like, what is he talking about sort of thing. And then they became more real, and he was, like, talking about real life stuff.
Yeah.
And he just can't really do that.
There was that one song where he was, like, talking about parties or something. Was
Good
that a
Time?
thing? Yeah, Good Time. Yeah, what?
Like, that
I
sort
didn't know that was him. I was like, what?
That sort of stuff just got kind of weird because it was, I don't know. His music so consistently was in this really weird zone.
Yeah.
That like only he occupied kind of.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't. And like it just hasn't really been since then.
I haven't gotten really into Owl City. I think I have listened to the second album. It's trash. Just kidding. I can't remember. But, on your recommendation, and it's just nothing sounds like that, and what's crazy is how clear every sound is.
Yeah, dude.
What?
His voice too, like
you
can hear every single word he says on first listen. You know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
And there's no reverb on the vocal. I hate reverb.
It's so dry, dude. I love dry vocals. Yeah.
There's like nothing on his voice except for just like compression and, like, tune or whatever.
Learn how to compress.
Yeah.
I have been wondering how he tuned his vocals for so long.
I think it was Melodyne.
Yeah,
from my research, and I'm sure he just meticulously
from your research. Yeah.
Dude, I was in there, bro, as a little kid. Like, how the fuck did that?
That's so dope. That's so beautiful. Having that like concept of just like I'm just looking this up. Like I'm just I feel like I've always, since I met you, you've always been a very curious person. But would you feel like, okay, this is very off topic, but I wanted to ask about this. How do you think people around you would have described like baby Elroy, like you as like a kid?
I do think curious is the first word that comes to mind. Like I think I was always like, I don't know. I've seen home videos of me as a kid. Which, have you ever done that before? Like,
it's crazy.
It is crazy because you see like these mannerisms that
you still have.
Yeah, you still have. And there were so many moments in those videos where like I would, like something would happen, and I would just kind of like lose track of everything that was going on around me. Sort of this like hyper focus sort of thing. Like there was that MIDI keyboard I was talking about, the Buzz Lightyear one. There's a video of me opening that on Christmas. And my siblings were like going crazy about all their presents, and I'd woken up late that morning, so they were all excited to show me the things they got. And they were trying to show, oh yo, look at this. And like I was just staring at this piano like for like 5 minutes, bro. My brothers were like showing all this shit in my face, and I was just,
no way, bro. I would pay money to see that. This is gonna be in a documentary one day where it's like, dun, 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 dun. It's like it's at that moment, dun, 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 and like the fucking like Bones bass lines like winding up type shit, and it's like, Elroy discovered music. It's like there was a party. It's like, and like it all pops stage guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fucking Lil Yachty walkout. Oh my god. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think like I've always like, if something I've got an eye on it. When something is interesting to me, it's like the only thing that matters. And I feel like that's something I had as a kid and I still have now. I mean, obviously that's not sometimes it's to a detriment, but I think for the most part, I like that trait about myself where like, because it can be very mundane things too.
Yeah.
It's like just dumb, like, oh, that's a cool bird. And then like a bunch of time just goes by because I'm just like, that's such a cool bird.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that I always did as a kid, and I still do that now.
It sounds like you that would make you feel very present though.
Yeah.
In like every moment.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I feel like I was a lot like that as a kid. But I was super outgoing as a kid. Which is funny because I don't know, I feel there's like I feel like I'm like usually on one side or the other. Like I'm either wanting to entertain everybody or just wanting to like
entertain yourself.
Yeah, or like see something or like be within whatever is happening.
I feel that from you. I think living from you, I've felt that balance. Yeah.
You think so?
That duality. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird to like sit in the middle of that for me. It's kind of hard to do both things at the same time for me. Because I was like in elementary school and middle school, I was like friends with everybody. And like, I was the type of kid to like, if like a kid was getting bullied, like I wanted to like be friends with that kid and like try to like bring them into like the other group that didn't like that kid. But then I went to a different school for high school and was surrounded by a bunch of people who I feel like were just like on a different wavelength than I was. And I became super quiet. And I feel like I was in that reserved mode like the whole time. Which was good in a lot of ways because that's when I really started to like dig into the music. And like I used to play a lot of sports and like be a huge athlete. But that's when I was like, yeah, I don't really want to. It's fun, it's cool, but it's like doesn't really go. It doesn't like. I don't know. It just wasn't really fulfilling, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
A bunch of time put into it for like no reason is kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, American high school sports are super weird. Like doing like 2 hours a day every day after school does not make any sense. I just want to make that fucking clear. So like anybody who's going into like administration in American high school sports, what the fuck are y'all doing?
I know.
It makes like the one thing you want in a child's life is variety. Anyway,
that's true.
My fault.
I mean, if you enjoy him though, like definitely.
Sure, bro, but you can just like play on your own time. Like, bro, like I feel like every country that's like won any World Cup, like they don't do like 5 hours. They don't do like 2 hours after school type of shit. It's like you play soccer at your school like 2 out of the 7 days of the week, and then maybe you go play club on the weekends or something like that. But there's a play to it that makes it super important, I think.
Yeah.
And dude, I feel like we wring the play out of people in this country.
That's true. I was lacrosse. Lacrosse was like my main sport. And my high school was so intense about that I was just like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, because I remember you talking about how much like talk to us about how you enjoyed playing lacrosse. Like, what was the things you enjoyed doing? Playing lacrosse.
I mean, when I first started playing, it was like the most fun in the world because like you just, I don't know, you just like, it was like, there's not really an expectation, but at the same time, like you can go as hard as you want to.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember going super hard in like my early years of lacrosse. But then when it started becoming this thing where it was like, okay, now I'm doing like training camps in the summer and now I have to go travel somewhere in the summer to like do a tournament. It's like, dude, like I just want to like play video games and like hang out with my brothers and shit.
Bro, you're like 15 at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like bro, dude, it's summer.
Look at a 15-year-old. They are small people. Like, as you know, if there's 15-year-olds in the chat, like y'all are babies. Like, be chill on yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, get a good night's sleep or some shit. Like, fuck me.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all don't have to pay taxes. Don't worry about it. Like, relax.
So, like, yeah, as soon as I got into high school, like, I was just like, nah. My high school had a sports requirement, so that's when I started, like, lifting weights and, like, doing stuff like that because that fulfilled my sport requirement. And I played ultimate frisbee. Which was
fire, dude. All right. I have never seen somebody handle an object with as much skill as Elroy handling a frisbee.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all gotta see me toss the disc.
Wet with it, bro. I would love to play ultimate frisbee. That shit is so dope. I'm so ass, but it's all good.
Yeah, ultimate frisbee. Honestly, now that I think about it, was such a good outlet in high school. Because it was like, because I tried really. I'm not huge into like just participating in something. Like I want to be good at it and like I want to like go hard. So like I would go hard at ultimate frisbee, but it was the sort of thing where like it was just enjoyable. It was like and it was my actual like friends that were on the team with me.
Dope.
And, like, we started getting really good and like winning these games and like pulling out these clutch performances and like it just became this little side quest thing where it was like, yeah, dude, like after school I'm gonna go, because I had a car at that point too. It was like, I'm gonna go drive to Ultimate Frisbee, which is down at the park like 10 minutes away. Like we're gonna go grind, we're gonna stay after practice too and like listen to our favorite music and just like get really good at the form. but it was like for a purely intrinsic reason. It was just like,
Yeah, you're
it
just
just
enjoying
feels
it.
good to be able to whip that disc,
Dude.
and a couple of my friends were on the same wavelength, so like
Just
we would
ripping
whip
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, just to contextually, never play frisbee with Elroy casually. It is a nightmarish experience. It's like having a fucking, the disc could be made out of metal for like how the speed at which you throw that thing. It is insanity. Ryan, who's also extremely would be decently experienced at frisbee, is just like, what are you doing? Like, fucking wild. But what's cool about that is it sounds like, I mean, when I think about ultimate frisbee as a sport, no offense to, like, this is not meant to like downgrade anybody who like plays a shitload of ultimate frisbee, but like, it's not really a sport that like most people grind.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that kind of, it sounds like it was almost like that may have given you the freedom to go as hard as you want.
Dude, yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly why it was almost like this like novelty thing when I started playing it.
Yeah.
Where it was like, dude, I don't even know how to throw this thing.
Yeah.
But like the coach showed us like the little form
Yeah.
for like the flick, which is, it's like once
The
you start being able to do this, it just becomes this addicting thing. Honestly, in a similar way, I feel like most sports are kind of like that when you pick them up, where it's like it just feels so good on like a tactile level.
Yes.
Like when you learn the proper like basketball form, which I'm not even gonna claim to have, but like
He does not have that. Just to be clear.
But when you learn to be able to consistently make some baskets in whatever way,
whatever way you want to make them.
like you're just like, oh, I want to keep doing that.
Dude, we're gonna put in a clip of you doing your move in post tires, doing it currently. Yeah, because that is just powerful. Yeah, the spin off fade away where you just glide. Yeah, no, yeah, facts.
Yeah, like
Agreed.
sports. I mean, physical.
Physical 100.
Have y'all seen Physical 100?
Shouts out.
Shouts out. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I like the premise. Just poor execution. Bad pacing, but
Bad pacing.
yeah, doing like physical. Getting physical is nice.
Facts.
I feel like that's a well-studied thing.
Being in one's body, being present in one's body.
Yeah.
It's a special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when I feel like, especially in like a brain in which sometimes you can float. Sometimes like you'll float into like looking at the bird or like looking at the keyboard. Like being physical is like such like a like grounding.
Oh yeah, I think especially as artists too, because like most of what we do is like trying to figure things out up here.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. We
So
had
it's-
a whole day where there was a whole day in this household which we debated the merits, like the differences between being like professional athletes and like professional musicians. Oh man, it's so much better. Like you just wake up and you like get physical. That's like going to the gym, eating healthy. That's all part of your job. Like I don't get it. Why can we not just do that?
No, I know. I have
It's so
fantasized the
funny.
lifestyle of like an athlete
Yeah.
for so long, because
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, being an artist is just so nebulous. Like you can spend all your time on it every day and make all the progress in the world, or make none.
Yeah, you can do like actively nothing. You
For
can do
hours.
everything for hours, and then like if the output's nothing, it's like
Exactly.
Well-
where it's like if you're working on some sort of physical thing, like getting a form down,
yeah.
eating healthy, it's like you only
There's only positives
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
you can't you strain your like you want your muscle to grow, you strain it,
Yeah.
it will grow.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's no question about that.
Where it's like, okay, you want to like put out a song, work on a song. It's like, no.
No.
But then like on the other hand about that, it's still like, then it's like, damn, you're like beating your shit up
Yeah.
for like, and I don't know what do you, I don't know. It's hard to make money playing sports as well.
It is. Yeah. I don't yeah.
Historically, making music has also been incredibly difficult, but I would say like now it's with the internet, it's gotten easier
Yes.
than like
but
the 70s.
yes. But I feel like we've had this conversation before where like you need to be better now. I'm rethinking that now. That was my opinion on that. Because it's so saturated that like you
Yeah.
have to like stand out in a certain way. But at the same time, if you weren't at a certain level back then, you wouldn't even get to go in the studios.
Yeah.
In the studio.
Well, because I don't know. It's interesting because then if like you're not at a certain level back then and now, to be honest, if you're not careful, like the 360 deal kicks.
Yeah.
And I mean, like even if you aren't even if you are at a certain level. Excuse me. Oh shit. Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ. Save me
Todd
from
taking
my
a pee
sins.
break.
Todd's taking a pee break. I might have to hit one of those soon as well. We'll use this moment to check in on the chat and to recenter myself in the in the questions. All right, chat, how are we doing? Let me I gotta, oh my God. I'm just like viewing this on like Studio Manager. No, it's just Anthony talking about how disappointed he is in your choice for the finals. Still. It's all right. I guess people would just be listening, bro. There's 40.
Are y'all entertained? Is this interesting?
I mean, there's been like 40 people in here for like 2 hours. So
Okay.
yeah, it's like somebody's enjoying it. I'm well. I don't know if chat's just not uploading. Drust says having a blast. Having a blast.
Glad to hear, Drust.
Drust. Dude, I am scrolling down, Adam. The thing isn't goddamn uploading. Look at me, bro. Micah says, I'm entertained in that voice exactly, I'm sure. Okay, cool. Let me just recenter the questions here. So I don't know how
What's
the
up,
hell
Micah?
we started. Do you want to go through the names and say what's up to everybody?
I kind of do.
let me pull up like the
I kind of do want to interact with the chat at least a little bit.
Oh my God. I love this. Okay, let's do some chat interaction and then we can round this off with some questions or something. My question's ready. Damn, celebrity. Wait, Avi. We're gonna.
Is Avi in here?
We're gonna do celebrity questions.
What's up, Avi?
Can you get Avi on FaceTime? Yeah. Shouts out Avi. Damn. Okay, wait, hold on. I don't know why this isn't upload. I don't know why the chat in Stream Manager isn't really updating, but. Avi's in the bath. Avi, you ready? Fuck it.
We have Avi, aka Patchy Mate, on camera.
Let me turn on my brightness.
All right, wait. How do we? Let me just. No, that's whack. Okay, talk to him.
Yeah, right there.
I'm hella like in the water right now. I'm bathing.
You're in the bath.
I hope that's chill and like not weird.
That's vibes.
Okay. I'm just like relaxed, you know. I had like a glass of red, you know.
I love that. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question because this is something that's been on my mind. Honestly, for as long as I've been like creating music, and I want to know your thoughts on it, both of y'all, all of y'all, Ty included. It's a serious question. It's not a joke, but how does your physical and mental health affect the quality of the music that you output? Do you find that you make really good music when your mental health is terrible? Do you make really good music when your mental and physical health is really good? Is it both? Is it neither?
Avi, that is
Let me know.
That is so well timed considering the conversation we just had.
It
about,
is.
Like, oh, you got to keep your body in physical shape to be an athlete. But like, what about? Like,
Yeah, because I heard that and I was like, well, you can kind of apply like the lifestyle of an athlete to like anything.
Yes, so true.
Damn.
So true.
That's bars.
Can I just?
Yeah, hold that. No, yeah.
That was a great question,
That is a
Avi.
great question. Holy cannoli.
Thank you for the question, Avi.
Wow. Avi, come over here, bro. Bring the bath. We have a bath here. Okay, damn. Wait. All right.
Okay, Avi, we're gonna answer the question.
We're going to answer the question. I kind of want to leave Avi on the phone. Wait. Leave. I don't know how to. Avi can be in my lap. Avi can. Wait. Avi will set. We're going to set you up, Avi.
Wait.
No, I know, but I feel like I want Avi to be able to view us at the same time. I guess, Avi, you can. Well. All right. The disembodied head is so crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's popping. It is a little dark on stream. I mean, I don't know if that's cool. I don't know if that's gonna help, but we're just gonna pull the camera forward a touch. I mean, the lighting forward a touch, and hope that. Well, because you're helpful.
Todd,
Okay.
There's a power knob on the back of that light.
Oh, bitch.
See if it goes brighter.
Oh. Oh, that looks like a horror movie
Yeah,
now.
keep it.
Keep it yellows. Hey.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, wow, that did something. Let me put my legs down.
Is it working?
Yeah, no, that did something. Careful of the beverages.
All right, let's talk about this.
Okay, so
Do you want me to rephrase the question?
no,
No,
That was a
you worded
great
it
question.
perfectly.
no, you go.
Me?
Yeah, how does your physical health and your mental health affect the way you make music?
I think. I mean, it's interesting because I've made some really good music when I've been in a bad mental and physical place, but I've made some really good when I'm in a good physical and mental place.
Yeah,
I think for me the biggest difference and the reason why I try to stay on the healthier side is that whether or not I'm making something good, I don't feel as good about it when I'm unhealthy as I do when I'm healthy.
Yeah, like your perception's sort of clouded.
Yeah, like it can still be good, but the way I feel about it isn't as. It just isn't as good as when I'm healthy.
Yeah. That's what's up. Because I feel like, I mean, I even got in this headspace a little bit with some of my previous work where, like, you sort of fetishize, like, bad health. You sort of fetishize, like, suffering for the sake of, like, good art.
For sure.
especially making emo music. Like,
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like as long as you're healthy and you're always challenging yourself and growing, there's always going to be, like, new things to write about and new, like, feelings that emerge. I know I just sort of answered my own question, but, like...
I was excited to hear it. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel the same. I mean, there's, oh my God, especially when I first started writing music, like, on, like, my, like, high school, like, guitar in my bedroom, like, you don't love me, you know what I mean? Like, there was definitely, like, I was on that same shit where it's like, I can't, or, like, sleep deprivation. Like, the first two EPs, not the first EP, but the second EP was, like, made all at, like, past midnight, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, can I just, like, not make music, like, during the day type of shit, which is, like, really scary when I don't know, any sort of boundaries like that are self-imposed or anything kind of get scary, especially when it's like I'm not going to say self-harming, but like affect you in a negative way.
Yeah, like self-inflicted.
Yeah, self-inflicted, like sadness or suffering and thank you, Elroy. And I think, like, I don't know, I think it makes for toxic music as well. Like, looking back on a lot of the stuff I've made, like that, especially before I started putting stuff on the internet. Like, before, like, the stuff on the internet has toxic qualities to it for sure, but like, before that, I just, like, went through, like, all my voice memos from, like, before 2015 type shit. Like, I have, like, some 16-year-old Bryce shit that, like, almost a decade ago. And
Find a way to make that full circle, even if it's just for yourself.
yeah, no, Avi just said I've got to find a way to make that full circle. Avi is Patchy Mate, for those who are unaware. Just to be clear, this is...
Was that on the
They
mic?
said- I just want to make sure people said that. Avi said, I'm doing the whole transgender thing. It's pretty vibes, unquote. So yeah, fucking happy Pride Month,
Yeah, straight up.
motherfucker.
Straight up. Happy Pride Month.
I love you. I'm glad you're around, existing.
You guys are my boys.
Yeah, and you're my thoys. So
Oh my God.
here we are. But yeah, Ty, what do you think about this? Come up. Come up. What do you think about mental state and health? You want to sit down below?
Those are two great things.
Like in terms of how it affects you making music.
Here, you want to switch mics? This is yours. So I feel very inspired when it comes to both of these things, both my health and music, from this man right here. All right, we're good. Is Avi still on the call?
Yeah.
Let's get them set up. So we've been hitting the gym.
Yeah.
And honestly, bro, I have felt as good as I've ever felt like in my entire life. Not only like physically, but like mentally, and just like what I'm going through in life right now. Everything's adding up and just like sinking into place. And I feel like when all of that is in line, the music follows from it. Cause today you heard me, bro, like make that one song from scratch.
Yeah.
All the way up like for hours today. And,
Yeah.
like, what came out of that was so beautiful. So I think like health and just like good vibes all around makes such good music coming from that.
Yeah, cause like when you just feel like in your body, no matter what you do, becomes a good feeling. Cause you're always using your body. Even if you're sitting there doing something, you can't not be in your body. Like you have to be.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for me especially when I work out with you, like when we're at the gym and I see you going hard and I'm going hard as well, it's just like it's like a fuel for my energy for like later on, if that makes sense. Like when I'm in the gym, it's like I'm only exuding the energy that I'm feeling like for the next set or like the next workout that we're doing. But all that energy that's created in the gym can like be transferred elsewhere in other aspects of life, which I think like is the reason why it goes hand in hand, like health and music, or like whatever you do, whether it's like drawing or if you make videos or if you write, like anything goes hand in hand. Like I think the gym is straight up just, this is Bryce's quote, but he said the gym just makes you like a superhuman like person. I don't know what it was, but something along the lines of just like if you go to the gym, you're just like a superhuman. Albie fell.
That's my fault. I'm sorry, I should have knocked.
Bryce, do you
said that to me, bro. That's your quote. You said that to me.
maybe that is my quote.
Yeah, Ty said that.
It is so true though, cause like expending yourself physically is like,
Oh my god.
I got it.
it's not something we do typically.
Yeah, that's also a great point. I feel like music, like people that make music are often related to people that aren't healthy at all.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Same with like gaming and stuff like that. Like anything that requires you to sit in front of a computer and do things for a long period of time are just related to being the most unhealthy thing ever.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I think that's like not right.
It's not It's not, bro, because you can do both.
Anyways, I had a celebrity question real quick. I'm gonna get Bryce back on the mic. But no, your vibes.
Oh, if you
If
well,
you
yeah, if
want.
you just want to
Yeah.
enjoy your bath.
Yeah. Enjoy your bath. Oh, they're going under. All right. Anyways.
You just went underwater. I love that. Look at them. Going crocodile mode.
Does that show up on the cam?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Sorta, yeah. So, anyway, bring
All
it,
right.
Ty.
So, this question kind of stemmed from a conversation y'all were having like about 25 minutes ago, so it might seem a little late. But when you were talking about like all your side projects and when you were in high school, the music you were creating was very ambient and open, and I think you mentioned there was vocals on one of those projects that you were doing. But if you were in that state of being, like back in what year was it, 2016 or whatever?
Yeah, from like 2014 to like 2016.
All right, whatever it was, let's say that version of you was flipping through like your whatever, Spotify, whatever you had at the moment, and you came across Dream Yoga by Elroy.
Wow, that is a great question.
That is a really good question.
Would you feel inspired from it, or do you think that you create things now that are inspired from your real life?
Wait, repeat the last part?
So what I'm saying is basically like when you were younger, 16, 15, however old you were, do you think if you heard your song that you created 2 months ago, Dream Yoga, if you heard that song back then, would you relate to it as much as when you created it now? Obviously not relate to it, but would you like the song? I guess is what I'm asking.
That's a great question.
That is such a good question. Damn.
Because obviously 16 to, 24, 25, that's a big life difference. You go through a lot of life changes. So you're going to relate to it in different ways. But I guess the question I'm asking is more so on just a music preference level and content lyrically level.
Damn. I'm not gonna lie, I think there's certain parts of it I would love and certain parts that I would be iffy about. Like I think production wise I would be really into it, like the younger me. I think younger me would have really liked the guitars and like the drums and like the sound design and stuff. I don't know if younger me would like the vocals actually, now that I think about it. 'Cause like dude. I don't even. Maybe I would, because there's an Owl City component to that vocal delivery.
There is, but
because that was my shit vocally back then. Like I needed a very even vocal delivery that was like consistent. But like lyrically, like what I'm talking about in the song, I don't think I would have had any frame of reference for that back then. So that's the thing that I'm really stumped about is like, I don't know how I would feel about that.
It's interesting to ask you about that though. Because, all right, a better question is, what if Owl City wrote Dream Yoga? Would you relate to it?
It probably would have been my favorite shit in the world,
right.
bro.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, another quick question I had. So I think y'all were talking about it before, but something that just like came to my mind as we were talking about the whole health thing and mental health is manifestation. So I don't know if you're like intapped with like the whole moon cycle and shit like that, but is there anything that you wake up and like manifest every single day to contribute to like the success that you've had, whether it be health wise, music wise, or just in general life? Like what is the main thing that you wake up, or some main routine that you follow that is kind of essential to your, well-being?
Well, I think this actually leads perfectly into something that you wanted to talk about in the questions you sent me, which was about like spirituality and like religion, etc. Because I've meditated pretty consistently since I started the Elroy project, and I still contribute my ability to like follow through on all that stuff to meditation, truthfully. Because when I was making the Sunny songs, which was like 2019, I would wake up at 6 a.m. every day, or just whenever the sun would come up, I would wake up and I would meditate for about 30 minutes. And it wasn't exactly manifestation. It was more of like, I'm going to be exactly where I am for an allotted amount of time. And then I'm going to go about the rest of my day, essentially. Yeah. And that's still something I do now. I think that's probably the closest thing I do to what you're talking about, because it's not like I don't really want something specific out of my life in general. I just want to like feel good about what I'm doing all the time, which I feel like the way to do that is to just like you just do it. Like it's a very like it's really simple at its core. It's just harder to put into practice, which is why for me experientially just like sitting there 15 20 minutes a day, like just sitting in emptiness is like, it helps me to just do the things that I do in my day with like with a level of like joy.
Yeah, it keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
If you generalize what you want out of life and what you wish for, it relieves pressure from what you do in your day to day.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It can allow for more things to happen, and you know, I'm a big believer on like go with the flow. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, same.
yeah.
I think
Christian colliding with Mars recently said to me, because we were talking about things like just how like thought processes in music history and art history evolve, like modernism and then postmodernism and then what's after postmodernism and everything. And he said this thing that was like, reject meta modernity and embrace the Tao. And I was like, yo.
What the fuck?
That's it.
Reject meta modernity? You said reject meta modernity and embrace the doubt?
Tao.
The Tao.
The
like
Tao?
The Tao? Like Taoism?
Oh. Damn. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, of course. So I feel like right now we're in a more than ever, there's so much shit out there, right? There's like TikToks going on where there's 3 videos at the same time just to like keep your brain numb so that you don't have to think about things. And like arguably it's like really bad for like people's brains and shit. And like I would say this is like we're past postmodernism and we're into like, we all grew up with the internet knowing that history is a thing, and so we have this like sort of meta perspective on the world, and that leads to like just the insane amount of fucking content we have today. But I feel like if you sort of like let go of trying to keep up with all of this core and that core and, you know, cottage core and post cottage core intercepting God.
I love cottage
like
core.
All of these like different aesthetics that are intertwined and trying to keep up with what's cool or whatever. And you just allow yourself to be as you are day to day, and like literally just focusing on the things that are physically around you and the things that are in your life, and then you create art about those things. It just leads to healthier creation, in my experience.
Facts. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think even like beyond creative experience, it's just like
It's just better.
yeah, it's just an overall better experience of life, where it's just like you don't need to reject anything. You don't need to do anything specific other than just what you're doing.
Yeah. And you can still be inspired by aesthetics and stuff, but that's just like, as long as you're like staying true to like what you're interested in, you know what I mean, you'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I totally agree.
Elroy, Bryce, thank you for allowing me on.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip
I love
as
you.
well.
Avi, you want
Avi's dipping.
Yes, sure. Wait, let me turn my brightness up.
I got you. Say bye to
Bye,
chat.
beautiful people.
Say bye to chat.
Goodbye, Kat. I love you.
Hell yeah. Bye, Avi. We love you.
Bye, Avi.
Mwah. All right. Oh, this is yours. Thank you, Ty. That was some fucking...
Elroy, I want to say you're a very inspiring person. Inspirational, that was the word. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, man.
On and off the field. Character is built off the field. Character shines on the field. And I think you are great in both aspects. So I appreciate you being a part of my life every day.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Can we get a hug real quick?
Of course. I love you, bro. I love you too. All right. Back to you, Bryce. Thank you for having me on.
God damn. Yes, Ty. Fuck me, bro. Those are some fantastic questions and even
They
better
were.
vibes. Finish me off. Thank you. God damn. All right. And also thank you, Avi. That was...
Thank you, Avi.
We got
Patchy
some
Mate.
great friends. Yeah, shout out Patchy Mate.
Ty
Lorenzo. Everybody stream the shit out of their music. For real. Damn. Oh, my God. And thank you for bringing up spirituality as well. That's something I was excited to touch on, but I'm trouble segueing into. And I think so. It sounds like you started doing a lot of meditating, and like that's been like a big part of your process recently in terms of like staying present and being in the moment. What this question is from Ollie. Or the Ollie questions, the GOAT. So currently, what is one part of your daily practice or lifestyle that makes you proud?
Pride is such a weird thing to me.
Damn, talk to me.
I don't want to go off on a tangent, but
talk to me about that.
I try my best to not be proud of things in general.
Yeah. Oof, I love that.
Just because, like, I don't really want to, like, do something just to, like, be able to talk about it or to, like, I don't know. Like, none of the things I do that I think are good for me, I do them for that exact reason, or at least I try to.
So what is one part of your daily practice or lifestyle that makes you feel very good? Like, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Diet. Diet is the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah. I mean, you know that I eat in a very specific way. I essentially eat the same exact things every single day. Because... yeah, I just know when I eat in a way that's not good for me, I feel that. It affects me not just physically, mentally.
Yeah.
It's just not good. Like, it just doesn't feel good to do so. It feels good in the moment sometimes because of, like, the sense pleasure or whatever.
Yeah. Chop chizzy at 4 a.m.,
yeah.
baby.
But, yeah, I eat in a very specific way because I know what is good for me, and so I eat that stuff every day.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, it's just logically, like, why would I not do that? So, yeah, I would say food. I would say the way I eat. I eat.
Yeah. What is your favorite? What is your favorite meal of the day? And describe
salad.
it to us.
I make a salad.
Yo, Ty knows.
I make a salad. I'll give you all the recipe because, like, it's not even.
Yeah, bust it down.
It's not even.
I need it too. Loki.
It's not even anything crazy, but so we go kale. You gotta massage the kale with olive oil.
You like have to like massage the shit out of it. I learned that.
Don't put a lot of olive oil. Like, it's a little bit, because too much is too much fat. Anyway, you put a little bit of olive oil, massage it, rip it up a little bit, and then in that you put seitan, which is a wheat protein. It's vegan, so it's good for a lot of reasons. It's good. It's got the same nutritional value as chicken, so a little bit of seitan. Toss that in there.
You grill up the seitan.
Grill up the seitan in a little bit.
Or you fry it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even season it. You can like buy them seasoned.
That shit smells like God.
Yeah. Like, just toss that in there. Sweet potatoes, wild rice, avocado, Honey Crisp apple, and some sort of honey, sesame, balsamic, something in that category as your dressing.
Yep.
Maybe even mix them up a little bit.
Sauce. I just want to like second how fucking.
Oh, maybe a little bit of granola in there too, or some oats.
Granola. Oh. Fire. I know, that shit is crazy.
I make a big old bowl of that every day.
I think what's great about that is that like also like when you're eating it, like it takes forever to eat, which is such like a nice process. Like it's not that it's like unbelievably filling or like a crazy amount of food, but it just like takes like it's just like you're present when you like eat that.
Yeah, and
salad.
you'll feel light. Like that's a massive like
Yeah.
you can make them big. That'll fuel you for so long, and you will feel light afterwards, regardless of how much food you just ate. Make a big old bowl. You can go make music, like read a book, do whatever, and just grip that and like eat it for like 2 hours.
Yeah, so great as like a dinner meal. If
Yes.
you don't want to, because like, you know, going to bed for like a full night's sleep with like a full stomach is just like, if you want nightmares, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But so yeah, that's I don't know. There was a couple weeks there with Ollie actually when we were like mainlining that meal, and it was so
Oh
good.
yeah, I forgot that y'all were like.
Yeah, I don't know
making it.
why we stopped. I think it was effort that like we just didn't. But that shit was so good. And like, but one time I tried to make it, I like didn't know you had to massage the kale, bro.
Oh, it's
my
hard. It's a
God,
bit-
bro. That shit annihilated me. So trial and error though. We get there.
Yeah,
we get
yeah.
there. Damn, that's a great answer. And what is kind of on a similar note? What is one thing that you wish people understood about you and your process?
I feel like there's an obvious way to answer this, and I am going to answer it that way. I haven't released a lot of music in the last year or two, and the reason why is because it just wasn't good enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very simple thing for me.
Yeah.
It's not a very deep thing. Truly, I don't believe it was a case of like getting in my head or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just, I believe in my,
Taste.
yeah. And I
Mm.
believe in my ability to like measure what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't live up to the standard that I believe my music should, then it doesn't come out. Like, it's
Yeah.
that simple. Like, as a musician and artist too, like just the whole like package of the way that my shit goes out.
Yeah.
It just has to be genuinely cool to me. So when I have ended up inactive and stuff, it's because I don't go through periods of not making stuff. Like, that doesn't happen. I'm like, it's just a consistent period of always trying to do something cool. If I end up inactive, it's just not working.
Yeah.
And like, that's as simple as it is. That can be kind of frustrating, but at the same time, like, I don't really get super stressed generally, but like specifically regarding that area. Like, before I made Dream Yoga, for example, like, sure, there's a feeling of like, oh, like, I haven't released in like over a year.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But still, I don't know. I'm a pretty optimistic person, so like, and I'm always making stuff, so it's kind of like a logical, just like, I'm gonna make something really cool.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, like, being in this household or like, or just living in the same general vicinity as you, like, you hear all the stuff you're making. And like, for us on the outside, like, it's all like, most of the shit is like, holy fuck. Like, you know, I'll be playing video games and it's like, you know, for me, like, Dream Yoga was just like one of the billion, you know what I mean? But like, I think, you know, what I forgot as well, like, you know, we've talked about this, but like, my interactions with you during that time was like, I you know, would be stress inducing at times for you, because like, we'd be hearing shit and we'd be like, no, dude, that's fire, just post, like, and like, you know, on your end, like, before you release, like, it's important for you to, you know, as we talked about, enjoy it.
Yes.
And so,
And that brings me to actually a really important aspect of this, is that, because I don't throw songs away. Like, that's not something I do. I know, like, a lot of people have, like, certain demos that I play that they really want to come out. Like, those might come out at some point. Like, I'm just going to say that. Because, like, nothing dies. Like, nothing
There's
ever
hope.
dies.
Damn, that's beautiful.
It's kind of like a, Cause I know, like, yeah, I've made demos that y'all are like, yo, like, you need to, like,
Yeah.
this should be your next song.
Yeah.
And, like, if I don't feel that way, then I'm not going to follow through with it.
Yes.
But that song might find its time later.
Mm.
Like, Dream Yoga was, like, that hook and that original song and other verses that I'd written before on different songs.
Yeah.
They all found their time. And
Their
like,
home.
That was the perfect space. Like, they just occupied that space perfectly, and so it worked, and it was a song that came out.
Damn.
It's like, yeah, I don't really, like, I have so many demos, and there's a potential that all of that stuff ends up on some song
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Like, truthfully, a lot of my writing these days is just grabbing verses and hooks that I've already written that I really like. They just need to find the right space.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's like the most important part of my process.
That's beautiful. I could not. That is a great answer to that question. That is,
Thank you.
yeah, fire. I think like getting closer to you as well in this space and like kind of getting used to interacting with each other as artists, like living together. That was like a really important conversation that like you had with me over time of like how like, you know, how to be supportive in that space of like when you're not releasing things, but like you're still making stuff. And like, there's so much nuance to it. And it like really just like I've noticed our house actually getting so much better at this. Like, for example, when I was showing that like snippet from like Instagram and like, and it was like, oh, like make this like into a whole song. And like other people were like, oh, like you just keep it as like the nugget or whatever. There was like this air of like, yo, but like you do what you feel. And I feel like that's like just been happening recently, like over the past couple months. Like that's been really powerful.
For sure. Yeah. Cause I
Yeah.
think like I understand why, you know, you hear your friend make something really cool and you're
A
like,
dinger.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
you should like, like, I feel like it almost like evokes this like anger
Yes.
because you're just, because you're just like, why? Like,
Yeah, bitch.
yeah, like
Yeah.
when the other person shows some amount of like indecision, you're
Yeah.
like, why would you?
Yeah.
Like, why would you not
Yeah.
put this out? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. It's so clear from the outside.
Yeah, it's so
sometimes.
clear from the outside, but like every artist has their own intentions, and like they're all aiming to do different things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have felt that too, where it's like it's kind of like when we hear something that, like, if I hear something you like, it's like, dude, like I could say like that's my favorite thing I've ever heard from you.
Yeah.
Like do what you want with it though.
Yeah.
Like, sort of
Yeah.
thing. It's
Straight
like,
up. Yeah.
'cause,
Straight
like,
up.
It does. I think your friends' opinions on what you make is really important, especially
Yeah.
when you love the stuff that they make.
Yeah. Definitely.
But you know, I think you just gotta respect that. Like again, everybody just they're trying to do a different thing
Yes.
with their music, and you know, if you genuinely believe that the thing you're working on is not what you're trying to do, then like that's totally valid. 'Cause
Yeah.
I used to feel like it wasn't sometimes. Like I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just tripping that I don't like this song.
Yeah.
Like it's objectively good or whatever.
Yeah, because like 8 people have been like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But like I find time and time again that like the thing I actually was looking for, I end up making.
Yeah, dude. And that's such a good feeling. Like that feeling you were talking about at the start of Dream Yoga, where it's like, this is it.
That was it. Yeah,
This
like
is it.
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Which at the end of the day, like I think like people who listen to the music will feel. And like, I mean, you know, we've talked a lot about like the difference between like, you know, pulling up a song on Dropbox and listening to it and like pulling it up on Spotify.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when it's
with the cover art,
packaged,
canvas, like
yeah, and you see the little
title,
stream numbers
it's got
next
the
to it.
explicit block
Yeah.
next to it.
Dude, that explicit block
It adds so much.
the parental advisory sticker. You know what I mean? Like we're official. So like, yeah, I don't know. There's something special to just like putting your own weight behind it, and I think like you have always been like incredible at that. I feel like since like I first started talking to you about music, you would always add the caveat of like, look, like this is maybe this is my opinion, but like you need to like take this where you want. And even past that at times, like I remember talking to you about giving feedback, and you were like, yeah, dude, like I don't try and give feedback like based on like what I would want to do with the song. I give it on like how I think they would want to do it with the song. And I feel like that's such like a dope perspective to have so early on, especially like, I don't know, like I hadn't interacted with that many artists at that point, and so I was just like, whoa, that's so that's so fucking empathetic. Like, damn. So yeah, that's great answer. Let me pull my question list. I went blank. All right, let me think about what we're gonna get into here, because we've been talking about process. I just have so many. There's just a fat list of questions. We're like 2.5 hours in or whatever. Okay. Do you want to touch more on your spirituality? Do you feel like
Yeah, sure.
Like, I think the other question I had on this, but I was messing around with the computer and stuff, so I'm not sure how in you went on this. But like, how do you think your experience of spirituality affects your current like day to day?
I think I have come full circle in a lot of ways regarding that, because I mean, as you know, like I just went on a retreat. I went on a Tibetan Buddhist retreat to Italy, and I was actually there when Dream Yoga came out. And it's yeah, I feel like, so I'm at a place in spirituality now. First off, regardless of why I was there, that was a really interesting experience. Like having my song come out when I was busy doing all of this like meditation and stuff.
Yeah. Just quickly, what does it look like normally when your song comes out? What do you do that day?
For me, like I can't not be on my phone. Like I just want to see like, oh, what does everybody think? Like, because people are DMing me, they're like posting it on their story, leaving comments on the SoundCloud or like whatever. And like for me, it's like I feel like I have to know that, because I'll always start second guessing my song right before it comes out. Yeah. So I need to see people be like, "Oh, this is the best song you ever did," and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it is."
Did that happen with Dream Yoga?
No. So like I just couldn't do that this time around. It was like, because it was in Italy. Like I woke up at like 5 a.m., made all the arrangements for like the Instagram post and like blah blah blah, was able to like quickly see some people's reactions, and then I had to go. Yeah. And then I was like meditating all day, and like my phone is off and everything, and I'm getting all these teachings and stuff, and then like, you know, the retreat is over and I'm like going back, and that's when I could turn on my phone and like see everything. But I'd have these moments like during the meditations where I was like, damn, like I wish I could check my phone, like see what everybody's saying. And I don't know. It's like, that's a valid thing. Like I do want to know what people think about what I'm doing, because I care a lot about it. Yeah. But here's the thing, is like I foresee that the next song I put out, I will be on my phone all day. Yeah. Because like I will have the opportunity to do so. Yes. Like, I'm not going to say that being in this retreat for that, like, changed everything. And, like, I'm a different person now. Well,
because you've also expressed that you like, enjoy that.
I do. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I like to see, I don't know. I'm realizing that, like, that's kind of the reason, like, I'm on this live stream right now, where, like, I'm just trying to engage more in general. Because, like, I love making the music, and I've always felt that putting that out was, like, that's enough engagement. Like, I'm working really hard on these songs, and I'm sharing them with people. Like, that's me engaging with them. And it definitely is. But like, I also want to like talk to these people who resonate with my work. And you know, so like when they send me DMs, when the song comes on, they really like it, and I have a little conversation with them about the song. Like, that's dope. Yeah. Like, that's awesome. And I want to be doing, like, that's what I want to spend my release day doing. Is like, yo, how'd you get the, like, mix to sound, like, how did you get the vocals so warm? It's like, dude, I did blah, blah, blah. Like,
you be answering that shit now?
Yeah, like, that's the best thing.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I used to, like, put a barrier between me and people regarding stuff like that. Because I was like, oh, it's a secret, and, like, blah, blah, blah.
The sauce.
Yeah. But it's like, dude, like, nah, like, I just, like, it's fun to talk about. I like talking about it with my friends. Why would I not talk about it with somebody who really likes a song? But going back to spirituality, yeah, like, I just, because I grew up Catholic, and I was like super into it. Like I would do my rosary beads and like pray every night. But it became this thing where it was like a what's the word? It was like superstition. Like I would like pray at night just so that,
just in case.
yeah, just so my family and me and the people I love would stay protected. Like I'd have to name all them in this very specific order to make sure everybody's good. And that became like an annoyance to me, where it was like, I can't not do this because like God's gonna hurt us or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about other religions or like worldviews.
How old was like do you remember it being like kind of annoying? Like it's just like, oh, okay, I got to do this.
Pretty early on, I would say like middle school, like when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Cause it was happening at the same time. Like that's when I really developed my prayer that I would say every night. And I was really like diligent about like constructing a prayer that like covered all my bases.
Yeah.
But
damn, that's kind of beautiful.
But it was, but it quickly just became a thing that I just had to do.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't feel any sort of thing when I did it. I just did it for safety.
Damn.
And then I got older and then eventually stopped doing the prayers and just didn't have any sort of like religion or spiritual alignment. And I discovered Buddhism around the time when I started making music as Elroy, like when I was making the Sunny songs. Like I referenced for a second, like I was waking up super early and meditating. I was studying Zen Buddhism. I would still say that is like my preferred. Calling it a religion is kind of weird.
Like practice?
Yeah. Zen Buddhism and the stuff they do is like, that's what works for me. Because they have one practice. Like it's called Zazen. They sit. That's what they do. Like they sit. They sit in Zazen. You got to keep a good form. Aside from that, that's basically what the technique is. That made a huge difference in my life when I was making music, and it kind of allowed me to like let go in a way that I was never able to before, and I could just keep making this music.
Wow.
I kind of lost the practice at a certain point, found it again, and since then I've delved into a lot of different Buddhist stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into too many religions outside of Buddhism. It's not to say that I won't. I just
right now it's like thin the mold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the retreat I just went on was not for Zen. I learned a lot from that I'm still sort of processing. But I'm happy to say that I feel like I'm no longer in like a spiritual pursuit, which I felt like I was for a while.
Wow.
Where it was like I was looking for something other than what I was currently experiencing.
Yeah. Damn, that is fucking a beautiful feeling. I feel
it is.
It's lovely to hear.
Yeah,
also.
it's kind of in a certain way. It's just like, oh, the search is over. Like, I can just be right here.
Damn,
like that's the best thing.
Yeah. So kind of, was that like before? That was after the retreat. You were like,
I think afterwards.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, is the do you feel like, I know you're still processing that retreat, obviously, because it seemed intensive to say the least.
It was, yeah.
But what is one thing that you really feel like you've brought from that retreat into your day-to-day life that you think on?
See, that's the
often?
thing, is like nothing in particular is like the only way I feel like I can answer that.
Do you feel like you think about a certain thing from that week often? Or is it all just meshing in? Because I feel like both of those are very common experiences where it's like sometimes there's one thing that spikes.
It does feel like it's all meshing in. I feel like it gave context to like all of my spiritual practice before
right.
that.
Yes. Yep.
Plus there was like some new stuff added in there. But I would say the overarching thing is that I don't it didn't change anything about my intellectual understanding
Yeah.
of the world
Yeah.
and of like the base of reality.
Right.
Which was kind of troubling me coming out of the retreat because I was like, I feel like I should understand that now.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, wait, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool because I found that as I think about it, I disagree with a lot of the stuff I was taught at the retreat.
Dope. Yeah.
And I like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Because you're like finding where you sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like because sometimes I can get too deep in the spiritual practice, right?
Yeah.
I don't really like how people talk about themselves in like such a deterministic way where they're like, I feel like I've talked with you about this where they're like, I'm the type of person to do this.
Yeah, we just
I'm
had
the
this
type of person to
conversation.
like do
Yeah.
that. But I feel like I kind of fuck with that now. Like, but like writing your own story and like
Yeah.
deciding like, oh, like I do these, like I'm like this.
I mean, part of that is just being self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like you are kind of structured in like a certain way. It's like going way back to what we were talking about with like my childhood and stuff. There's like certain mannerisms
that you just hold on to.
Yeah, I just exhibited them then and like I do now.
Sometimes the bird flies by and you're like, damn, I'm in that bird.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Like I'm just in that bitch. Yeah. Like I don't know. Personality is a real thing. People
Bars.
Because like honestly, sometimes I've been like, I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
But I do think it is, and I think again, like writing your own story, like, is cool. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of felt like that's not cool sometimes. Because it's like I should be fluid. Like I should be adaptable. Like
I ain't in no box. Like I don't.
Yeah,
You can't tell. You can't categorize me.
Yeah.
I am a nebula.
Yeah.
I am cloud.
Yeah, but it's like, nah, dude. Like people have preferences and like.
Yeah, like, bitch, you look like an iron rod to me. I fucking see right through you. Yeah, I've been having a little bit of that too recently.
So yeah.
God damn.
But
I
yeah.
hadn't heard you. Obviously, a lot of these conversations, we've had versions of before, but I hadn't heard you talk about that retreat in the sense of like, in that way before, I guess, like especially in the senses of like being especially like in like the disagreeing with some of it and stuff like that. I'm really excited to like continue having conversations about this as you process it more as well. That's dope.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to keep talking about it because, yeah, like I was in a mode where I was like, oh, like I can't talk about any of this. Like, I almost felt bad that I like disagreed with some of it. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
it was like, well, I just got here. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But as I kind of just was telling you, like, that's cool. Like, I'm going to form opinions on things because, like, that's what we do.
Yeah, dope. So, like, now in your kind of, like, lack of chase of spirituality and your more solidified version of that, like, how would you describe that? Your solidified version of spirituality?
I don't know. I don't think solidify is the right word. Actually, maybe it is. But
he's starting to crystallize. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I feel like any sort of meditative practice or like spiritual practice I do now, it's like it's not on a need to do basis. It's not on like I used to view meditation and any sort of spiritual practice as like medicine. It was like, oh, like I need to purify myself and fix certain things, and like this is how I do it. Kind of just, I don't know. It's like I think, and this is like part of what the teachings that I got on my retreat that I agree with is like, I think we're pure from the start. And the way that you stay pure is not by like doing some specific thing. It's just remaining like relaxed and open.
Right.
So nowadays, like if I wake up and I don't want to meditate, like I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'll just go drink coffee and like read a book or like do some bullshit. Like I might make breakfast and like watch a TV show. Like,
get set up.
If like play in 2K or something. Like as long as if I feel in that moment like I want to be doing something else, then like I will not do that thing.
Yes.
But
damn, so it sounds like just a true like presence in yourself and like what your needs and wants are at the moment.
It's like why don't make yourself meditate or do some practice. Like why would you do that?
You have the agency to do what you want, so it's like, man. Like,
but it is. I mean, I think it is like a balance.
It's a balance, because I mean, it's always the thing of it's like, well, to get there, you had to like, or you didn't have to, but you did go through a phase of like
being more
the
intense
forceful.
About that. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that is a beautiful sequence of events. I think, like, especially like coming from that, like the protective Catholic practice of just like, fuck, we gotta make sure we don't go to hell or like die, you know what I mean? Like, let's just fucking tick these boxes type shit. It's like, this sounds like an incredible arc of like coming into a place where it's just like spirituality is like felt within like one's body and like wants and needs and like where you are currently in your experiences.
To me it feels like a more what's the word, like I don't know if there's a word for this. Just like being adequate for whatever the circumstances are, like in that very moment.
Damn, accepting.
Accepting.
Holistic. Yes.
Yeah, which I think that's the thing. It's like it's a pretty simple thing, but it's harder to like actually do it.
I hear this also. I'm drawing a thread between like the way you were talking about pride as well. I've also been on like a fuck pride wave recently. Actually, not like as in being proud of things. Jesus Christ, it's been a rough stream for me, y'all. But like I was getting into dude, you know that Uncle Iroh quote? Did I tell you about this?
Yeah.
The Uncle Iroh quote of
Run it.
Let me see if I got it on me right now. It's pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. Only true humility is the antidote to shame, I think is the bar. Yeah. And that's been hitting recently. I realized that. And I think that like you talking about, you know, what part of your practice makes you feel good instead of like what makes you proud is, you know, a beautiful exercise in humility there.
Yeah.
And like also talking about, you know, like almost like an acceptance of lack of control almost in the sort of like, you gotta wake up and you gotta meditate or else like everything falls apart. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of letting go, as we've talked about like a bunch tonight, especially like in the art and stuff. That's really cool, I think. Yeah. I'm going to pull out the questions because I like, there's many of them and I know we're really deep and I appreciate everybody who's still along.
Shouts out the
27.
I'm gonna hit a quick bathroom break.
Take your bathroom break. I'll center myself. Chat, grab a water, take a pee. And if any of y'all need to head out or do whatever, like this will be uploaded or this will be saved on Twitch for some time, and then we are gonna put this on Spotify and YouTube eventually. Bro, take a seat. Pop in. God damn, how have you been finding this so far?
This is crazy. I feel like I don't deserve to sit in this chair right now.
No, that's what?
I've sat in this chair so many times, bro. And I'm always just like, yo, wait, hold up. This is, for those of y'all watching, this is Elroy's true stance in this chair while he's making music. Isn't it somewhere along the lines of like this?
Is he reversing that?
I feel like he hits this a lot.
Oh my god.
Does he not?
I don't know. I don't really be walking in on him that often.
Wait, no.
Oh shit.
It's always that. Like he just like uses the chair.
He just uses the chair like a normal chair. This is a designer chair, I think.
This is also
we gotta be.
Should we drop the sauce on it or should we keep it low key?
Drop the sauce. I think we're gonna keep it low key.
All
I think I'm gonna leave that up to Elroy.
There's no tag on it.
There's no tag. There's no sauce to be dropped.
It's the
But,
Elroy chair.
Yeah, I mean it's such an Elroy chair because he gets to like do his meditation pose. Like y'all saw him in half lotus the whole last time.
Dude, this is fire. I just feel
I know.
like
Careful on the left. Also, there's some liquids. Are you? Oh, I thought he was right there. Jesus, this door setup is so OD. I love it. I love it.
Perfect.
I've been trying to check the chat, but I can't. Can I check your phone for the chat?
Yeah, the chat is active.
The chat is active because on
loving
my
it.
stream
Shout
setup
out
it don't
everyone
work.
in the chat.
bro.
Y'all been great. Y'all
Yeah,
been
yeah.
very respectful.
Good
very
vibes.
insightful. People love the spirituality talk,
Good. Yeah.
which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. No, this is dude. Ty, you're active in the chat too, bro. Thank you for. Dude,
feel-
thank you for being here, bro. This has been fire, like having you like
Dude.
actually inside.
I was gonna work. I was gonna work on that song all
Yeah.
night, and like I knew I would just come out of my room and like be in the kitchen and hear y'all like laughing and shit. And I knew
Yeah.
y'all were like right in front of this door,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh shit. Once y'all begin, I'm not gonna be able to like walk in.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was like, yo, do y'all mind if I just like sit in the back?
yeah. I
just
mean,
chill?
and I'm so glad you did because I was before we like actually set this up. I was like, dude, like, I forgot an aunt was at work, and I was like, should we just get the whole house in here and like we'll have y'all in the back? And I stressed myself out about it as like watch out for the wine.
No, we're good. We're good. We
Yeah,
got
you're good. You see it. You see it. But, I stressed myself out about it because I get overwhelmed and shit. And I was just like, fuck, like, Elroy, make a decision.
Sorry,
I mean, bro, it's your interview. You're
And
back.
so, yeah, Ty's just been vibing in the
Been
chat
vibing.
and checking in on the monitoring and, like, making sure the camera's centered.
I've been the mod. I've been the
Yeah,
mod.
no,
I've
Ty's
been the
been-
real life mod.
Ty's been the analog mod. Ty's been on that shit, so.
All right, well,
And-
back to you, man.
Yeah, and we will have a Ty Lorenzo interview on here ASAP.
For good reason.
ASAP.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
I said for good reason.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Foreshadow.
Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing, a plot device in which something is set up for later usage. I don't know. A very Potter musical said that definition better. But anyway, shout out a very Potter musical. Shouts out Ollie for setting me up for a very Potter musical. That's one of my favorite musicals I've ever seen. Anyway, damn, I was gonna say some shit about your, I don't know, observation. It was something about meditating, talking about. I think it was just when we first started talking, you had just gotten into Zen. You had been into Zen for a while.
Yeah, I was probably into it for like a year.
Yeah,
when I
year or
started
so?
talking to you, Yeah.
I remember you talking about it. And,
Making no fucking sense.
no, you were. I was like, wow. Like I remember that was like the one we like, dude. Origin story. So I find, you know what? Yeah, this is a sneaky little origin story. So, I'm super into Aries. It's 2019 maybe. 2019, and I'm following a couple Aries fan pages. And one of them posts like a top 5 Aries copycats. And you were at number 1, I think. Or maybe number 3.
I
or
probably
something like
was
that.
number 1. I probably was.
No, I don't know. I think like Detro. Shout out Detro was on there. Ty might have been on there. I think Monto definitely was. And I like just looked at everybody, and that was like my first touch with Elroy. All of these people ended up becoming like good friends on either the internet or in real life, who I now live with. 2 out of the 5. And we had a group chat called Poop Chat, which was like the most active friendship group I've like ever been a part of for like 2 years of my life there. And it was me, Ty, Elroy, Monto, and Aliz Carlo. Shout out AZ, man. We love you. I know you're going to fucking see this later. So, yeah, we love you, man. We miss you. And shout out Monto, who's living his life right now. Mizzy Wizzy.
Out in Tokyo.
And yeah, and dude, like Monto actually was a huge inspiration behind this and like the podcast that he did with Ty and everything. So, yeah, stream the shit out of both of them. But when we first started hanging out, I remember, you know, you talking about how you interacted with fans and being like, yo, like, why can't just like putting music out be enough, like engagement and stuff. And we had like a lot of conversations about like different ways to interact with just the people who were like consuming the art. And so I don't know, it's just been like a beautiful arc to like watch you just like open up and like almost just like fall into the shoes that you accidentally made for yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, well, shit. And I don't know. I mean, you're obviously like your introduction to the internet was rough because like with those fan pages, I think like Sonny had been out for like a couple months or something.
Only on SoundCloud.
Only on SoundCloud.
Think,
yeah, no, the Spotify stuff didn't hit for a while. And yeah, there was just like immediate obsession / hate, like type of thing. And I remember talking to you about like, it's like, man, like, how are you, like, you're so like mysterious online, like you don't post much, but like you, when you do post, and like, that was the thing you said, you were like, dude, like, why do I have to be interacting? Like, I thought it was so purposeful. Cause for me, it was just such like, I want to like talk to everybody who messages me type of shit. And you're like, I'm fucking mad. Like,
no. Yeah. That was the funny thing. Cause like, I feel like a lot of people have like labeled me as mysterious, but like, it never like crossed my mind the question of like, oh, like, do I act like this or like act like this, like on the internet? It was just like, oh, I don't like want to do that. Yeah. So like I didn't. It was just like a very like logical thing. Yeah. Like everything about like my internet presence has been like logical. It's not like an intentional like, oh, like I'm only gonna do this when like this and that. Like it's just like, oh, like when I'm putting a song out, like I'll do some things on social media. When I'm not gonna be on there because like why would I do that? Yes. Sort of thing. It's like a pretty black and white thing, I feel like. Yeah,
and I stole the shit out of that from you, and it like saved my mental health. Like it was crazy. And then afterwards, I remember you getting, I remember a manager hitting you up and like comparing you to Frank Ocean, and like I was just, like in terms of like the mystery and like the star potential and shit, which I disagree with. Like I think it's like, I personally think it's like stronger. Like I'm like, I see like higher potential, which I told you about. Like, dude, like for sure, hands down. Like in terms of like world building and like the whole nine. And but around that time, we started talking about more of like manipulating it to like, in terms of like, I remember having like a conversation where it was just like, yeah, like when people like deify you type of shit, like how do you interact with that? And it was like, we were talking about like the merits of like going along with it or just like pulling back or like that type of shit. And I remember just being like, you know what? I could use a little bit more of like the deification type of shit. And I just like pulled out a social media type of shit. Like just in terms of not like, in terms of ego, but also in terms of just like having a more engaged fan base and all that shit. And I like really like followed those cues. And like now I think it's actually like provide like a really nice framework of like I'll just like delete Instagram when I'm not like posting. And like it's and it's like really helpful engagement and mental health wise. Like you really crack the code with like just doing what you want.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing is like, I don't know, because you get so much. People have a lot of opinions about like the way to do things on social media. Like, as an artist. Yeah.
Do you want to shout out the GOAT?
I'm not gonna name names. There's a GOAT though out there who drops knowledge regarding music and like the way to roll things out. I like a lot of what he says, but at the same time, I think you just have to do like what is comfortable for you. And to his credit, he says that like you need to. It's good to be consistent, but also it's like if like DMing people or something like that like brings a certain level of uncomfortability or something. Yeah. Or like if showing too much of your personal life on social media is uncomfortable or feels wrong to you, then like don't do it. Like, I don't know. 100%. I just don't really believe in like sacrificing stuff like that.
I mean, that's like the
for a chance at success.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I guess that's like the definition of selling out. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like just like doing shit that like doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you know, I've definitely like had some touches with that where it's like I've like, you know, chosen like the career over like people I love and type of shit, and like it just feels disgusting. Like you just don't. There's no, I mean, you see this in so many fucking movies and like everybody always talks about it, but when you actually brush up against it, it's just like, God damn. Like,
Yeah.
it's so alluring. It's like everything I've worked for like right now. And it's like, there's no such thing as right now.
Yeah, true.
Like, in any industry, really, like the goal should be sustainability. Like, how can you make this a sustainable thing that you can do often for a long period of time, and like what do you want that to look like, and like how can you like be happy doing that? I remember like I had like a really rough year when I was like 19. My dad asked me, I was talking to my dad about it, and he was like, yeah dude, like so what would you like rate your average day? Like how many days out of the week, like, you know, during a week, what is the rating of that day? And I was like, man, it's probably like 3, 4 out of 10 maybe type of shit. And I was like, maybe some days are 5. He's like, man, I mean, you know, if you're having like a 5, most of your days are like 4 to 5 out of 10, you're gonna have like a 4 to 5 out of 10 year type of shit. And I just like extrapolated that so hard. I was like, what? And it just really like got me more into that mode of like almost like hedonistic to like a certain extent, where it was just like, dude, like how do you make your day-to-day above a 6? You know what I mean? So you can kind of have, I mean, it's oversimplifying it, obviously, because there's a lot of fulfillment that comes from like working hard and like going through trials to like succeed at things. But I don't know. I just think the whole like grind set, grabbing at like golden straws type of shit is like super dangerous. Like there's no fast forwarding this shit. Like you just, because even if you do, then it's like, bro, your life is still like, you still gotta make music.
Yeah,
type of
like
shit.
your life is still just right. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
I think, like you said, like any sort of like grasping for some sort of thing is like,
just like that's.
Yeah, it's just like not. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I guess it's like as much as I can say. Like,
yeah, there's a rhythm to it.
Yeah. Like I think that the sustainability aspect, like you said too, is like really important. Of just like, yo, like, I mean, I guess specifically in regards to being an artist, like people want like deals and to like talk with these A&Rs and like managers and stuff like that. Like my career or whatever could like maybe be at some sort of different point than it is now if I went about things in a different way.
Yeah.
If I made like more compromises that I like didn't really want to make. But like I like doing things the way I do them. So like why would I like not do that? I feel like I'm ending a lot of my answers and being like, why would I do
right
that?
Yeah
But like that is genuinely a question that like pops in my head a lot of just like why, like genuinely think about like why would you do that sort of thing.
That, I mean, I think that's like super important. I think, you know, I had a couple people recently bring up like priorities and shit. It's like, okay, like why are you doing what you're doing? Like what are your priorities in this situation? I was like, I don't know. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then I actually wrote them down, and I was like, wow, that was extremely clarifying. Actually.
Yeah.
Like, putting that shit on paper and just being like, oh, like, I just, like, stripped so much out of my life. Like, just because I was like, oh, I don't actually want this shit. Yeah. So I think asking why is actually very important. I think that's actually a great way to end a lot of things you've been saying.
Dude, yeah. Like, I feel like intention is just like
one
of the most important things.
Intention 2023. I swear to fucking God. Holy shit. I feel, dude, yeah. I don't know. I think there Dude, literally up until like a month ago, just so little intention, just letting shit ride was like my life type of shit. But I remember also on your shit about like A&Rs and like trying to like do the industry thing. There was like a couple years there where like we first started getting like attention from the industry and shit. And it's just so intoxicating. Like you just like want to talk to the managers and like all this shit. And they're like, anyway, so like what, this is like what we can offer and shit like that. And then I just remember us having this one conversation of like, okay, but we had no music ready at this point in time. And it was like, okay, if I was to have music ready, what would you do with it? And it was like, there were so many of those, which was hilarious. I feel like we spent a lot of months debating what we would do if we had music.
But we had nothing.
And like, what would we do if we had music and a deal? Like,
yeah, dude, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like both of us like
Yeah.
got caught up in a certain phase where it was like, dude, like I would like literally just like walk around and like listen to these unfinished ass demos and be like, oh, dude, like, yeah, like I'm gonna get this advance and like,
yeah,
like I just wasn't. There was definitely a period of time where I was like just super interested in all that industry sort of stuff. And I lost all interest in like actually finishing any of the things that I had. And it's like end of the day, dude, like the most simple thing is like my favorite feeling in the entire world is just like listening back to a song that is done. Like it's 100% done.
Yeah.
Like the awesome thing about that is that feeling is 100% up to me.
Yeah.
Like if
you have that control. Yeah.
If I want to feel that feeling more times, what do?
You just have to finish the song.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Call him. That was my door.
Just like if you want to have that feeling more often, what would you do?
Great.
Finish the song. Yeah, no, facts, bro. Like that's actually such a beautiful way to put it, because I think some of the things that make that industry shit so so hypnotizing is like it's like exterior reinforcement. Like it's exterior praise and like validation is the word I'm looking for, where it's like such like a nebulous like, how do I know if I'm doing this right? Like somebody said the mix didn't sound right, or like my fucking they didn't like the verse, or I don't know, oh shit. Like, or even without that, you could have a completely positive reaction to a song and it's still just like, well, it didn't blow up. So
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
So, but you're so, like getting to the roots of whatever you're doing, really. And like having, like finding joy in like the day-to-day process of it, and finding those little goals of like, I finished my song that I was working on for a little bit. Or
that's awesome, dude. Like that's like the best thing.
That is the job at the end of the day. Like that's all you gotta do. So, damn, it's strangely difficult though.
I know.
Strangely difficult. All right, let me get some shit going on here. Okay. Dude, on that note, I love asking people this question. What does your ideal day look like? Like if you could have like infinite money.
Oh, infinite money.
You have infinite money. Like, what is your ideal day?
I don't think it's my ideal day. My brain went to space. Like that was not, like that was my first thought.
No,
I was like, I'm gonna go to space. But
so this is I think it's the key with this question is money is not an object. It's just like the majority of your days. How do you want to spend them? You wake up. What happens? What time is it?
The thing is, bro, like, I feel like this sounds cliche, but I feel like I've been having some days where I'm like, that was just good. That was a good day. Like, when I, like, wake up, like, I go hit a workout with, like, Ty. I come back, I, like, eat my food. Maybe we, like, play a little basketball. Like, I work on music for a little bit. And then I just, like, chill. I shower and just, like, chill in my bed. Like, I think there's a few. Okay, there's a very specific thing that I would add to a day like that would make it better.
You talk to me.
And that would be having a cat. If I had a cat.
Yeah.
If I had a cat or a dog, preferably both.
And multiple of each.
Yes. And like, so I did that kind of day. But like when I was at home, like they were involved with that.
Yeah.
But dude, like I don't know.
You're just saying you want us to all move in to your place so we can play ball and go to the gym, and also you can have your cats. I get you. I see you.
Like, dude, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do. I wouldn't do anything like crazy. I'm just not really into like that sort of thing, I think.
No, I think that's the reason I like this question. Is 'cause So a lot of the time people are just like, I'm actually, shit's fire right now.
Yeah, dude. Like I would just do what I do now, but I would have a dog and a cat.
Damn.
That's my final answer.
That's beautiful. I'm so excited for your dog and cat art. I went down to, we have a bodega cat down the street at Plazita. Shout out Plazita Organica. Ugo. Ugo, I played with Ugo for like half an hour. I was getting us our beverages, and bro, I wish we could get Ugo on the cam. I actually have a video of Ugo that I could. Oh my God, put Ugo up.
Yeah, show him Ugo.
What are you hoping for this year?
Dude, I think just like relationship type stuff, like friendship type stuff. I'm trying to just like deepen all of that.
Yeah.
Cause like I feel obviously like I care about. I'm gonna make more music and like put out more music and like exactly like literally that's literally like kind of how I feel about it. It's like I'm gonna do that regardless. Like that's the sort of thing that like happens anyway. But like I think living with, you know, like such good friends of mine, like for the first time, and like who are also dope artists, and like spending time with other ones who I don't live with all the time. It's like I want to keep fostering that stuff. Yeah, because that's the sort of thing that I like have historically not really prioritized, I guess. And now that it's in person, it's like I want to work on that, because I feel like when you feel a certain way around your friends, just because you've been like sort of I don't know, it's this sort of when you're acting a sort of way in front of your friends and they're acting the same way, and it's everything is like harmonious. It's like it's a kind of feeling that is like kind of new to me, honestly. Where like, because everybody has had friends like throughout their lives, but like
sure, yeah, definitely all of us.
But the sort of I've had those.
I know what that is.
But I don't know. I think I've like more recently been awakened to like the potential of this new kind of feeling when like everything, because I have a lot of experience with like certain things in my life being in like feeling in a state of harmony with things, like with my work process or like my physical pursuits and whatever, but my relationship to people is something that often feels like more chaotic and like not what I want it to be. But I've experienced it feeling more harmonious, especially recently, and I feel like I just want to continue to do the things I need to do for that to be a thing. Damn. And for that to keep growing, because that's just like a new kind of feeling.
Damn, that is beautiful.
That like feeds into everything else. So
I think also hearing the stories about like you, that hits hard after hearing the stories about like you in middle school and like being or earlier even like elementary school where you're like outgoing and like you always like bringing in people who are like having a harder time or like being inclusive and stuff like that. And like, you know, it sounds like you were putting in a lot of effort there and a lot of energy and enjoying it. And, you know, you've gone through now this time of like a long time of like more of like a solitary existence type of shit. And like, it's so dope because since we started talking on FaceTime, but like, especially since like I've seen you in group settings and shit, like there is so much joy around you, like your little fucking bubble of sunlight, like in like every social setting. And that's so like, it's dope to hear that it's also like giving that back to you now. And like, you're kind of like getting it to all fucking strike a nice little chord.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I think, that's like that's a really good point actually. 'Cause I've thought about that before where like, I did feel like there was a time in my life where it was like, I would just, again, I keep going back to the word harmony, like harmonious, like where I was in harmony with people specifically, where like everybody was just moving and like flowing in a certain way that where everybody was happy. Yeah. And then I just became more focused on like solitary stuff, like you said. Yeah. Where it was like, oh, that actually doesn't matter. Like I need to do certain things in my own time. Yeah. And I lived like that for a while, and I think now I'm back to like, dude, like that's important. Like it's important like for us to like have some level of responsibility for our own existence, but the way that factors into a group setting and like the way that you interact with other people, just matters. Yeah, it matters a lot.
And honestly, I love that you went through I think the fact that you did go through that, like the solitary kind of focusing on, I guess, yourself and like, you know, how you interact with yourself, it really shows. Like I did not know you before, obviously. I've seen pictures of middle school Elroy. It's incredible. But like when you know what I mean? Like I've been learning a lot from you since like living with you, whether it's like self-care stuff or just like a hair routine or a skincare routine or shit like that. You know, it's like, what? You can moisturize as a male? No. So,
hey, Bryce got Japanese nail filing.
Yup.
Recently.
Yup. I got Japanese nail filers recently, motherfucker. We are up. We are up. So, yeah. Were they $12? Hell yeah. Worth every penny, motherfucker. I've been like meal planning. This is fucking, I've had a lot of good influences in my life. You, Ty, Ollie, and this has been just like an insane household for just dubbing up. So look at y'all. And yeah, I mean, like it shows that you went through that series of solid, and like, you know, that had its own harmony to it. It was the flat six on its way up. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting on that one. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you said that shit, I was like, oh. Gotta complete that shit though. We outside. We're going. I don't know where we go after that. You get to decide, but there's a lot of options coming out that court. So
no, you are right that it's a different kind of harmony though. Like solitude it can still be harmonious, but in a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like very
ties it in my solitude.
You do it so. No, you did it so well that one time.
I'm not gonna do it now. Don't put me on the spot.
I'm looking at the goddamn monitor.
Sorry.
See you guys. Your eyes were straight.
It's a different kind of harmony. Like harmony with like animals and like nature and stuff is easier, I feel like, usually. Because you're not getting any level of like there's not like verbal feedback or anything. Nobody's saying anything that you like don't want to hear. Yeah. Because when that starts happening, it's like it requires a certain level of work to stay harmonious.
Damn. Wow. Yes.
Not that it's not possible. It's just like it requires effort. Sort of thing. And like you need to. I think, you know, this is like a very like tested thing, but like if you don't like the way that people talk to you or like around you you kind of just need to change the way that you talk. I feel like.
In what ways?
Ty said, in what ways?
Like I feel like there is a certain level of value in like calling somebody out for like a certain communication style or whatever, but I do feel like people kind of just mimic whatever it is that's going on around them typically, unless you like think about it. So I don't know. I feel like I've experienced this a lot with like my brothers, for example. Like we have me and my brothers have like a chaotic relationship where it's like we kind of just, we obviously love each other, but it's like brothers say some like fucked up shit sometimes.
For sure.
But when you are kind of gracious in general, you're usually met with the same thing. And if you aren't, you probably will be next time or the next time or the next time.
I want to push back on this because I think, something we've been talking about since living together, it has been like setting boundaries and like has been calling people out, especially in like family's an interesting one because they're kind of like default in the category type of shit. It's like, well, there's gonna be all the next times until some like, you know what I mean? There, you got all the next times, but like, I know with us recently, for example, like, we had kind of an experience of coming into this house as like 4 quite sensitive males, I would say, is like, but kind of also, I don't know, for me, it was kind of my first experience being in like a super, I don't know. We were like, we were doing all this shit. We were like, oh yeah, we're going to play basketball and we're playing Smash and like, and like, it was just like a very mask environment, I guess. And like, it was interesting because I feel like for all of us individually, every one of us is somebody I would pick out at a party and have like the deepest conversation I've ever had with type of shit. But, there was like a sequence there where like I in particular, I kind of overcorrected. We've talked about this, but I think something that was really helpful in terms of switching my brain off from that, it's sort of like it got to the point where it was like I was like on toxic masculinity mode. Like I had like basically learned what trash talking was in the past like 3 months, and I was like, what? And like just fucking went, and like I'm like a fucking squishy motherfucker. Like if you trash talk me in a way that's any sort of way outside of like the thing we're doing, I will cry. Like I will break inside. And it kind of took Ollie like pointing that shit out to me, being like, yo dog, like the vibe's kind of off, bro. You're kind of throwing the vibe. And I was like, I'm not throwing the vibe. And Ollie was like, well, and I was like, oh, and like that's kind of like it like took that, like it took somebody being like, yo motherfucker, like what are you doing to like. So I know like for me personally, I will just I don't think I'm super like receptive to like implicit cues. Like the explicitity helps a lot. And like I don't know, I definitely appreciate that. Another great example of you doing this actually was when me and Ant, this is a hilarious context actually. So in playing basketball, Elroy has an injury. When I first started playing basketball with everybody, I couldn't play. So I started trash talking real early. And cause I could tell it threw people off. With Elroy, an interesting phenomenon happened in which if you complimented Elroy before he shot, he would miss every time. And so we kind of started, as danger with trash talking, we started kind of like applying this to like other aspects in life. And like before Dream Yoga was coming out, you started getting, and part of that was like, if you trash talked Elroy, like, oh, you're not going to make it, like Elroy would make it every time. Like it was every time. And, so like it kind of transitioned into like the way we talked about your music as well. And so like you'd come out like, this happened for a couple months where you're like, oh, I got it. And we were like, no, you don't, bro. No, you don't. And then like, you wouldn't, or like you would, or like, And then Dream Yoga happens. You're like, dude, like, this is the one. Like, we got it. And me and Ant go like, no, it's not, bro. Like, you're going to, and we just start, like, icing you. Because, like, for both of us, obviously, we're just like, yeah, okay, this is, like, how, like, we, like, motivate Elroy or whatever. And you were like, I don't like this. And we were like, both of us were like, we just, like, stopped. And we were just like, oh shit, because like for us it was just like, dude, like what we were trying to do there was like be supportive, and it was just like absolutely the opposite of what was happening. And like I think it floored both of us, like kind of like for me I was just like fuck, because like I'd already had the conversation with Ollie and shit about that at that point, and I looked up at Ant and he was like his face also was just like, oh no, like type of shit. We were like, what? And it was so helpful. And like you like talked it out. I was like, no, like I don't need that right now. Like what I need is like support, and like because like I feel like I can do this, and I like want y'all to be behind me and shit. I was just like, damn, we got you, bro. Like let's go. And it was a beautiful moment. I think we like high-fived or something afterwards.
Yeah, true. I do think being explicit is probably the most important thing.
That shit was mad helpful.
Cause like I think, I don't know. I feel like I go overboard on like implying how somebody is feeling based on some like little gesture or whatever. Which maybe sometimes is accurate, but sometimes it's definitely not. And I feel like obviously it's just so much easier to like determine the proper way to engage with somebody when they told you how they like to be engaged with.
Yes.
Which I think for men, like as we've talked about, is like a weird thing because like you're usually so used to like, if you're actually gonna do that, like approach somebody about like, hey, like don't talk to me like that.
Like, then it's like, oh, you got a problem?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like, I mean, every dude has like had an experience like that with some other dude. Where, like, that's, I don't know. That's kind of like the more like masculine way to go about things. I think.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, like that sort of thing. When it's like, dude,
well, I'll be sad for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be uncomfortable in my own household.
Yeah,
for some time. Yep.
So yeah, I do think explicitity is the most important.
Yeah, but I think you
thing
also
we communicate.
brought up something really important there, where you were talking about how you really go out of your way to read people's implicit cues. And I think that's something I really struggle with. And like it's the duality. Like doing both well is like God mode. If you can read people's implicit cues and also communicate your own boundaries explicitly, you're on God mode.
Yeah.
You have reached communication threshold 5,000.
It's the basis of every healthy relationship. Strong. Every basis of every strong.
But communication is the basis of every strong. Like, so yeah, no, damn. Yeah. But like, dude, I mean, this is like brand new information to me. This is like past 2 months has been like, damn, what the fuck? Like, it's a weird type of harmony. It's a weird type of harmony. What? Oh my God, dude. These are some bangers, bro. I'm like reading these questions. I'm like, holy shit. Like it's 10:49. So
do
like,
we still have PR? Ty, are you in the chat?
I'm in the chat.
Are people still?
Are people?
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody said they're feeling extra harmonious.
All right. Hell yeah. Who said that?
Feathering.
Yo, shout out Feathering.
Feathering, man.
Man, dude, possibly like one of the longest standing supporters of the scene.
I'll tell the chat to roll in the questions and I'll read some off.
Yeah,
should we
actually,
get the
I need
fan
to check the
questions?
Discord. Fuck. No, give me, wait. Yeah, there's a Discord. If you go to my Discord, there's a channel called Twitch Submissions. I just want to, there's a couple of these questions that are left still. We're this deep anyway. Cause, all right. Okay. All right. I know what we're going to do. Okay. Here we go. Word association. You ready?
Wait, so do I give a one-word response? Do I give a one-word response?
Yes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Movie.
Spirited Away.
Food.
Sandwich.
Song.
Sun.
Sun's out.
Communication is the basis of every strong relationship.
Dressing.
Salad.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. I can't, like, what do you want me to say to that?
It can't be the same word. Sandwich.
Ruben.
Okay. Artist.
Giant James.
James? Did you say James? Spoilers. Oh my god. Oh my god. When you're feeling down, what makes you feel better?
Is this still word association?
No. That's all I could come up with word association wise.
Damn, that was stressful.
I could tell. Oh my implicit senses were tingling there. I thought I'd put you through that one, though. I'm glad we only did 7.
Okay.
We did 7. You're okay. We made it.
What was the question?
Thank you for that. That was hilarious. When you're feeling down, what makes you feel better?
Food, dude, a good meal.
Dude.
Just, I was talking about
Beautiful.
how I eat the same shit. Like, I
Yup.
whip up one of those salads, like,
Yep,
I'm
dressing.
chilling,
Yeah,
dressing, salad.
Salad. No, that's beautiful. I think, yeah, that's a great answer. I was talking to shout out Kurt yesterday about how, like, meeting your baby needs. It was something like, if you feel like everyone hates you, take a nap.
Yeah.
If you feel like you hate everyone, eat a meal.
Yeah,
It's a
dude,
banger.
honestly.
It's a banger. What is one piece of advice you'd give someone just starting in the music business, starting out in music?
I think mainly, like, just, like, don't be worried about, like, the right way to do things.
Do what you want.
Yeah. Like, both, like, from a technicality standpoint, like, how you're going to mix your music or whatever, but also how you're going to market it. Like, just do something that, like, is cool to you or makes sense to you, I think. Yeah, that's probably how I would answer.
That is a great piece of advice. That is like crucial. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a crucial piece of advice.
I feel like that's important.
Yeah, I back the fuck out of that. And on a similar note, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Okay, so I am very opinionated about this sort of question.
Talk to me about that.
It's not that I don't like this question.
Yeah, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
But
I gave it to you beforehand. Though.
I know. I remember seeing it in the list, and I was like, I'm going to answer it just like how I am doing right now.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Go on.
I don't know. I need to, like, experience something to, like, know what it's about. So, like,
yes.
just because I'm picturing, okay, I'm 13 and my current self is like, yo, don't do this. Like,
shut up.
yeah.
Bitch.
Like, whether it's like some random adult or like older me, I'm just gonna be like, shut up, bitch. So, like, if it, like, I wouldn't tell him anything.
Can you
like,
imagine if, like, 35-year-old you pulled up and was like,
yo, don't
wait to get the cat. And you're like, shut up, bitch.
Oh my God, that would be so sad, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what would that even mean?
Yeah. Oh.
Shit. Like, he gets run over or something?
No. Maybe I was just imagining you being a little stressed out or something.
Bro,
Back in the
that
cat.
made me, like, genuinely
Yeah,
sad.
My
dude.
fault, bro.
Nah, you're right.
He
you're
could have
right.
come back and been like, you should. Well, I guess the crazy part about this question is it, like, touches on regret, which is a disgusting emotion.
Yeah.
It's kind of useless.
It is. Yeah, it is. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I just got to, like, find out for myself. Like,
Facts.
if I made a decision that was worthwhile, and you can't judge that beforehand. So,
I guess you know what's really cool is reading, like, old journal entries of, like, your younger self. So if you're, I guess, kind of going on what Ty was saying, if your younger self met you today, what do you think Lil Elroy would say.
I don't think I would. I think I'd be. This is such a dumb answer, but I feel like I'd be very shy around him.
Yeah.
And I would leave being like, that guy was pretty cool.
That is like, wow. That is adorable. That is. Yeah, that guy was pretty cool. Yeah, agreed. Damn. Wow. That is dope, though. That is like, wow. I feel that's so fucking special, bro. That's beautiful. I feel like that's just like a genuine, like, damn, I'm glad I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
we made it.
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck yeah. Great answer, Elroy. Okay. We're going to go one more, and then we're going to do what we do at the end of every episode, which we've done millions of prior to this, where I'm going to ask you what are three pieces of media you'd recommend. Okay. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
For now, this is from Ollie. Again, obviously, the question master. Describe the inside of your mind as a landscape.
So you got like. So you got a bunch of clocks. I'm seeing a bunch of clocks in there.
Yeah.
Like Dali type clocks. Like they're all like misshapen. I'm seeing. Dude, I'm just seeing a Dali painting. You know that Dali painting with the two tigers
Yeah.
and the gun?
Is the elephants in the background of that one?
No.
No.
There's like an iceberg and there's like two tigers leaping out from a fish onto like a woman who's sleeping.
Mm.
And they're like pointing a gun at her. I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't think that's accurate.
That's what you're picturing there.
But that is what I'm.
If that's what you're
picturing.
looking at, in your brain, when you turn around, what's there?
If I turn around from that scene,
Yeah, you're in your mind.
so I'm seeing
You're
that
seeing
scene.
that scene. You turn around, what's
What's
there?
on the other side?
Mm.
You know, anglerfish,
Yeah.
like the ones that have the light in front
Oh,
of them.
yeah.
It's just pitch black, and there's just one of those.
And it's just is it and like this is the only light source?
Yeah.
So you have like a fully lit Dali style painting, you turn around and just like and
Yeah.
like you just see like teeth.
Yeah, and it's a 4D experience. Like you're getting the.
Yeah, it smells weird.
It smells like fish, and there's
Oh.
like, you know, when you're underwater, and it's like, that's what you're hearing.
You look up, what's there?
Oh, what's up?
Mm.
I'm just seeing
Tell me.
that guy from like the painting where it's like God and that guy trying to touch it. I'm just
You're seeing the Immortals cover art.
just trying to grab me out.
Oh,
of
he's
that
trying to
situ-
grab you.
Yeah, he's like almost
Oh.
making hand contact with me.
Are you standing on the ground?
I'm in mid water at that point.
You're in the water, but you turn around, the Dali painting's still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
How deep's the water?
undeterminable, but
Are you treading water? Or are you standing?
I'm not treading. Like I'm not stressed. I'm not like
You're vibing.
I'm not in like a danger situation, but like
You're wet.
yeah, I'm definitely wet.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
definitely wet.
Oh yeah.
Don't ask me what's below me. Though.
Okay. All right. I won't. You read me on that one. That's the implicit reads right there. Okay, I'm gonna pick 3 questions out the Discord, and then we'll do the final recommendations. Thank you for that. That was super fun. That was super fun. All right, let me hop in. Oh. These are great questions, y'all. You guys are doing really well. Okay, we're gonna do more than 3, because some of these are
good
quick.
ones.
Some of these are quick. Do your friends call you Elroy? Roy? What do you like being called?
I wish more people call me Roy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Tizzy hitting
Some
it.
people do hit me with. It's like it's a personality thing. Like some people call me Roy, some never do.
But you wish
It
more
makes me
people do.
sad.
All right, we got you. Thank you for that question, Adam. That was great. Okay. In your opinion, what is the most efficient way to learn how to mix master, and how did you learn to mix master yourself? So I think we went over the second part of that question, but the first one.
I think efficient is a kind of weird word when it
Mhm.
comes to that sort of thing. Because, like, I never properly learned how to do that until, like, that was
This year.
The first thing in this conversation was, like, me talking about how I kind of, like,
Yeah.
took some steps back to, like, actually research that.
Mm.
But I don't know. I've always kind of had like a run and gun approach to music where it's like, oh, the vocal needs to be like more up front. Like I'm just gonna compress it a shit ton, and then I'll compress the rest of the instruments too. I think that approach is valid, honestly. Like maybe I'm just because I did that, like I'm biased, but I do think I appreciate when a song just like does its thing. Like I like when it just I like an interesting mix where like it's not very conventional. And they were like, "Oh, I want the vocal to be crazy, so like I'm just gonna slap a bunch of like slap whatever on there."
Yes.
I don't know. It kind of feels like a cop out because I feel like I've been answering any sort of like technical question where like this, where it's like just do the thing that you like.
No, because I think what's detrimental to the process is when people are like, well, you're gonna need to buy Pro C2. You're gonna have to. I mean, there's a certain thing where it's like when you first start using compressor, look up what somebody tells you to do and do exactly that until you understand what changing the dials do,
and then
you know
do something.
Yeah, and then just do anything else type of
I
shit.
will. Okay, I do want to give some sort of technical advice. Parallel compression is really important for me anyway, just generally,
so
specifically for vocals.
This is changing how much the compressed signal is mixed in with the dry signal.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, parallel processing is like you have a plugin that's at 100% wetness, and you're using like, let's say like 60% of that 100% signal. Super helpful for vocals, for like pop vocals. Other than that, I would say just make sure there. I feel like everybody says this, but like it's still important. Just like carve out enough space for things in the song. Like if a vocal needs to be more audible and there's like too much happening in the high end, like get rid of some of that high end from the other stuff.
Yeah.
If you want the vocal to be the most prominent thing, like don't add more high end to the vocal. Just make sure the other stuff is a little bit dialed back.
I think that's a great tip. Actually, when I first started making music, I would often just like turn shit up, but like sometimes when you want things to be louder, you got just turn the rest down.
Yeah,
and like that actually like completely changed. Ty is nodding as a fellow Logic user. That shit is super important. Gain staging, baby. Gain staging. We know what that is. So, and in terms of a sort of more of a soft skill, I would also like to chime in on this. I think the tip of like just running and gunning and just doing what like sounds good to you, like whatever, is really important. And also I think something that I've heard you talk about often tonight is just like trying to emulate people.
Yeah.
Like trying to like, make the future bass.
Yeah, true.
Or like something like that. I think just finding the music that you love and like trying to make the same sounds is game changing.
True, yeah.
Game changing. But outside of that, just do what you want. Like do what's quick and like YouTube, Google generally in life, I've been on this wave recently. Google everything.
Yeah.
Google fucking everything.
True.
Yeah.
But
that's
also
just how
quick
I feel.
results are good results. I think.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to summarize that. Okay. And okay. Thank you, Clokey, for that one. Shout out Adam for the first one.
Clokey. Thank you, Adam.
And then this one's from Lunar, who I love, has been extremely active recently. What's your writing process like? Which we've talked a little bit about, but do you make beats and let the lyrics follow, or write based on lyrics and melodies? Do the vocal melodies even exist in the first place? What's kind of the story, you know?
Definitely, vocal melodies definitely do not exist in the first place. The beat always comes first. I will usually make sure that the beat is really good before I even try to like sing anything on it. I think generally I will hope that something cool comes to mind over the beat, like melody wise or like lyric wise. But if it doesn't, that's when I'll like reach back into like my demos to see like, oh, do I have any hooks or verses that like didn't feel right on their own beats. I think this sort of like vault mindset is like kind of like my thing, I guess, where it's like I want to always try to like do something new over a beat I just made, but if it's not really working, like it's cool. I essentially have like a sample library, but instead of like one shots and stuff, it's just like fully written verses.
That's so dope.
So just like, let me see if I can sing this here. And like, sometimes it's like, oh, like now that this is like 2 steps up, it actually hits like the way that I wanted it to. And it's like faster now or whatever.
Dope. Dude, when you're writing the vocal melodies, or when you're writing vocals, is it normally the melody or the lyrics that come first?
It's usually both at the same time, but like minus a few. Like if a melody that's actually good and like ends up sticking and staying on the song, almost every single time there's like 1 or 2 words that bug the shit out of me, and I have to like rack my brain to like put new words in their place.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had songs not come out because of that.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's I mean with Dream Yoga, dude, that first verse, the like bitch don't kill my vibe shit, like again, the only new thing that I wrote for that song, pretty much like 70% of my work on that song was like filling in a couple of words that just like were not sitting right in that verse.
On the first verse?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. Well, I mean, it worked. It worked. It worked. That was fire. Dude, yeah, I cannot. Oh, my God. That second verse is ridiculous. I just can't believe how well that flows. Like, it's just like... just,
Yeah,
I'll
just
be
keeps
like a
going.
creature in the back of a theater. I'm choosing these questions. 3 biggest inspirations. Go.
So Owl City, Joe Hisaishi, he made the music for like the Miyazaki movies. I'll probably say Aries as well.
Yeah, fire.
Aries.
Fire, valid. I think that's, we just got to shout out where we came from.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we gotta shout out.
We got to shout out where we came from. Fire. And then, do you plan on doing shows?
Yes, yeah.
And do you ever regret axing a song? And if so, is there a song, okay, wait, no, that you'd ever want to retry and make? Yes, that was my fault. I didn't read the rest of that. We know this one.
Wait, who said? Wait.
That was Clokey.
So I'm not answering this.
You can answer that if you want.
Do you not want me to?
No, go ahead. I was just like, we talked about that extensively.
Oh
But
yeah, that I like don't actually axe songs.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean I don't axe them, so.
So, the vault is where
Yeah,
they
the
go.
vault is a thing.
Yeah.
Like none of them are axed.
Yeah, beautiful. And what made you get colored eye contacts?
I don't know. I kind of just.
I mean, they're not contacts, so it's a weird question.
It is a weird question.
I don't know.
Who asked that?
I think it was Adam or something.
Was it Adam?
He doesn't really know what he's talking about, I guess.
Adam, why would you ask something like that?
What are 3 pieces of media that you recommend to the audience?
I'm gonna say.
Ty, without missing a beat, count it off. Smash, Gang Beasts 2K. Which are the 3 video games we play?
Those are my I'm gonna say those first. I'm gonna echo.
First off,
Super Smash Bros, Gang Beasts,
okay,
and 2K, but
separately, yeah.
and not as importantly. Dude. Bro. Okay, I'm gonna say Twin Peaks is my first, which is that's a TV series. The Return, Twin Peaks: The Return, which came out in 2017, was even better than the original Twin Peaks.
Damn.
But you have to have seen the original Twin Peaks for it to like make sense.
Okay.
But
how long is that series?
it's like 2 seasons, the first season, and then The Return is like 1 season. I'm gonna say that. I kind of want to diversify this by like not all of it being visual.
Would you recommend an album?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
Second L City album, maybe?
Like yes, but
We've already talked about that though.
yeah, that's the
something
thing.
else.
Can I look at my phone?
Look at your phone. Look at your phone.
I need to look at my
You liked
Yes.
shenanigans. Oh, wow.
There's a specific album that I feel like I would like to say here.
We will link all of these once these get posted on YouTube and Spotify. They'll all be in the show notes and descriptions. But for y'all on Twitch, you're just gonna have to run that.
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at this to say Copia, the album by Illuvium.
Fuck yeah.
Copia.
Oh my god. Is
Is
that the one with Prelude for Time Feelers on it?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god, the titles on that album.
I know, dude. Illuvium titles in general are just
goated.
you could literally read that track list and that's like infinite inspiration by itself. That's my second, and then
Give us a book.
I was gonna think a book or a video game.
Oh. Give us both.
Can I get both?
You can get both.
Book wise, Exhalation by Ted Chiang.
Ted, yes, let's go.
Bryce introduced me to Ted Chiang. He's this like sci-fi this like sci-fi short story writer. He also has another one called Stories of Your Life and Others,
Banger.
which is also a banger. Exhalation is my personal favorite.
Stories of Your Life is mine. So
It happens.
it happens.
But please just go read. It really doesn't just pick one of those and like read the first story on either of them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Matter of fact, just read both of them all the way through.
Yeah, honestly. I'm not gonna give it. That's a good 3. That's a good 3. Yeah, I'm happy with that 3.
Fire. Damn. That's it.
Yeah.
We did it. We made it. Thank you so much for doing this, bro.
Dude, thank you for having me.
There's so this has been such a pleasure because I feel like so many of these questions I've just been like, I don't know. Like I've slowly been calcifying in my brain. I'm like, give me that. So and it's been, I don't know. This is it. Oh, fuck. I feel so grateful to like have this opportunity to like do this with you and like be in the same 3-dimensional space. It's like, you and Taylor and
Yeah,
everybody.
same, bro. This is dope. I mean, yeah, I feel like because we've like talked about some of these things in person, but like over FaceTime as well.
Yeah, that was a
And
lot
also
of
just
it.
over text. So
Yes.
like, yeah, it's great to just like talk about it for like how long have we been
A
on here at this
minute.
point? Like
A minute. Some time.
3-4 hours. Oh,
3:56. All right. OD.
so with that being said,
Said.
yeah.
This is short running time for our conversation.
You're
to
right.
be clear.
Yeah,
like this is actually like incredibly condensed. Good dude. Yeah, Elroy's got a history of strong 7 hours
Yeah.
conversations. So yeah, but no, I feel the same way. I think like being able to condense this shit down into like a format, and like for me, a lot of those conversations we had were like game changing, like genuinely like whoa, like whether it was about music or just life and like friendship and all that shit. And I think they continue to still be, which is like really cool. And like we will definitely have you back on whatever the show is called.
Thank you.
Hell yeah! All right, bring it in, bro.
Love you too.
All right. Fuck out of here, y'all.
All right,
Have
y'all.
a good night. Thanks for coming in. Get out. You want to leave the studio? Do you want to exit?
Yeah,
Do you
should I
want
leave
to Ty?
the
Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. All right. Quick bow, team. Quick bow, team. Thanks for coming, y'all. We'll be back soon.
Let's
Elroy will be back again. All right. 3, 2, 1, bow. Fuck yeah. All right. Get out my studio.
all right, see y'all.
MTV Cribs.
Leaving the studio.
This is definitely not Elroy's room. Oh shit. Ty, we're wrapping. We're live. We're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. Look back at him. Ty's arms looking great. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in for so long, y'all. We will be back again in due time. Elroy will be back. Ty will be back for a longer interview, and Avi for sure, and Ant for sure. These are all. We have the privilege of being in a scene surrounded by people who I love talking to and who I think you all will love hearing from. So thanks again. I'm Bryce, and thank you for being part of my life.